Hey, welcome everybody to this different type of stream. You got Whales Only and you got Crypto Bobcat. And what we're going to do on this stream is we're going to talk a little bit about all the things you want to hear about. Odd, I know, but that's what we're here to do. And damn, I forgot that stupid countdown again. Hold on. We'll be right back, guys.
Hi. Yeah.
What up?
Right. Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah, you're here. I don't know why it dropped you. I don't know what's going on.
And just literally when you actually started this countdown, something happened with StreamYard and it dropped me off. Yes. Hello. Welcome back to the channel, to Whales on the channel. So, and welcome in if you're new. And here is Crypto Bobcat and Whales Only. And where's the sound? I don't hear you, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking, but I had muted myself. So
okay.
Yeah, we're here to just.
Okay, I really like how the beginning of stream goes. Like,
yeah, it's usually a mess around where I live, so excuse the sound.
It's okay. It's Florida, and he's sitting on the beach, so it's fine.
Yeah, right. I wish I was, man. I wish I was.
Let me swing, guys. So I'll leave you there. I'm just gonna go swimming for a while.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, be right back. Just come down. It just Ivan dropped off, and we're gonna listen to the waves and it's just beautiful nature sounds. Yeah, guys, really, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Remember, guys, any information which is provided by any influencers, just you get this way better when it goes with the fun and some jokes. Although 5 minutes ago we spoke with Whales Only, and he said no jokes. We're gonna take it serious. We're gonna take it serious. No jokes.
This is a mission. We're not here to have fun.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about. Yeah, I'll be right back. And he goes like this. Yeah. That's why you call Whales Only. You just go swimming all the time.
Just go swimming, man. That's it. That's all we do. We don't do anything else.
Yeah. So you can drop questions on us anytime you want to. Any questions, we are just like Skyweb. We're not going to teach you how to poop like Richard Hart did, but I just read his books. It's marvelous, for real. Yeah, Belly Brain, hell yeah. And I just really wanted to say sorry to him again because I had to move the live stream.
So you guys are streaming tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah, should be, but I had to postpone it for quite a good time. Yeah, traitor, kill him.
Yeah. Get him.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry for this, guys, but we will definitely reschedule this for the next week, and we're gonna talk about everything in Hex and everything you want to.
Yep.
So
sure.
Hex is approaching all-time high. So how do you feel about this?
Well, I feel like it's just another day because these are things that I have been talking about since I literally started streaming about Hex. Because, I understood just from a very high level what Hex was, right? And that was like my mission once I realized that people didn't understand it. Like, that's the only reason I started streaming. Otherwise, nobody would even know I exist. Because, why would you need to know me? If you understood what I understood, you wouldn't need to know me. So I wouldn't, I just wouldn't exist. And my whole mission since that point in time has just been to educate the people about just basic definitional finance and, how people view things in the markets, just because I got all this experience and it's good information to have if you want to become wealthy or rich or whatever your plan is, right?
Yeah.
So, that's all I'm here for. Talk charts, talk crypto, talk finance, talk macro, talk whatever. Because it's all related, right?
Sure. So I have a very, very important question for you today. When $1, sir? Can you tell me when $1? In what days we will see Hex hitting $1? Please tell me, sir. The question
So
that
I'm thinking, I'm like, I was the crazy call from me was the $10 call. I was thinking $10 by the end of 2021. Now, could we still see that? Yes, because this is crypto and crypto has no limits in
yeah,
terms of what we're used to seeing. But what we have to understand is that markets are driven by people, right? It's not driven like at least a decentralized market. Excuse me.
yes. That's a good notion because when we speak about
Yes.
Bitcoin and others, yeah, everybody
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah. So the difference between Hex and everything else is that when Hex is moving is because people are moving it,
Yeah,
right? It's very critical that we understand that because people have this misconceived notion of how markets are supposed to move,
yeah,
right? Because we're used to seeing what Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of those markets, what they do. But the thing is that those markets are actually centralized, meaning they trade on exchanges, centralized exchanges, excuse me.
yeah,
And there's a lot of things that go on in the background that, you don't see. And that's why these products move, or those assets, speculative assets, move how they move, right? That's why we can highlight what the dollar is doing and how that's actually affecting. Oh, hold on, guys.
yeah. It's okay. Just go say police. We have a live stream here, so it's okay. We don't do anything illegal. Just promoting Hex.
Yeah, apparently
I
it's a
said
problem.
he's outside. He's swimming for real. No shit. Okay, I hope you would be detained for some reason. No, please, please. Okay, we're gonna read some questions. I don't know. There's some. This is my first time in StreamYard, and I see some messages popping out.
All right, we're
All
back,
right.
and we're good. We should be good now. I think
Yeah. So
I had
were
the
you
window.
detained? Yeah, very
Yeah,
detained. Is it fine?
yeah, yeah, like a
This is the
retard. All right.
police. Yeah, it's okay. You can swim there.
Yeah.
Just get
And
out of the
shout out to
water.
everybody in the chat. We already got 64 people tuned in.
Yeah,
As the
good.
stream goes on, more people are going to be checking in because they're going to want to hear about this great new thing called Hex, right? It's innovative. We've never seen anything like it before. And that's why, we take our time and we try to explain all these important concepts. So, hello
Yeah.
from the Chief Seas. Love
Yeah,
it.
Cass is here. Hello, Cass. So Cass McCann, you see him on the bottom. He's the guy who brought me in.
Nice. Okay. Shout
Yeah,
out to you, Cass. Shout out to you, man. I mean, yeah, this
yeah,
is this is a great thing, bro, because this is a life-changing product, right?
yeah.
It's not like it's just a regular crypto, it's completely unique. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And shout out to my homie Crypto Profeta. ¿Cómo estamos, mi hermano? He's from my country, so we speak a different lingo.
So where are you from? From some
Dominican
Spanish country,
Republic.
right?
Yes, sir. From the Caribbean, Dominican Republic.
Oh,
Yeah.
that means you're pretty close to Florida then. No?
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
I got you. I got you. I know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
in East time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know where I from Russia, so Russia's pretty big.
Yeah, Russia is huge. I mean, if I knew, I would probably be able to take a good guess. But if it's not one of the major cities, then the odds of me knowing are very slim.
I'm from West Coast.
West Coast. Okay, I might know. The West Coast is more prominent on a map than the further eastern part of Russia.
Yeah, because it's
So
big.
right, because it's big and there's just less people, also less population on the
Yeah,
eastern side of Russia. And
yeah.
yes, I've never been to Russia, but I do like to, of
So
course,
where have you
educate
been?
myself. I have never. I've been to. Okay, so I've been to Europe. I've been to Germany, Austria, Spain. Okay, that's where I've been to in Europe. I can't remember if anywhere else. It's
No,
all a
no.
blur.
You said you were in Russia. Where exactly? Like
No, 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 no,
Northern,
no, no,
Central
no,
Europe?
no. I've never been. I've never been, is
Oh,
what I
you've
said.
never been. Yeah, sorry for
Yeah.
this. I thought you
No, no,
were.
no, no
And I
worries.
was like,
No, no, no.
oh,
Well, interestingly enough, well, no, I'll tell you this in a private chat. I can't say this in public, but I'll tell you this in
ah,
private chat. I'll tell you this in private chat, but
intrigue.
just don't
Yeah, sure.
say it. Don't
No,
say it out loud
I'm
because
a grave. I'm a grave. I'm not gonna tell
my
anybody else.
government name is that.
Your government name.
Yes,
What do you mean by
meaning
that?
my
I mean, I'm
my
sorry.
real
I live
name.
in. Oh, real name. Okay,
Yes.
government. Okay, I get it. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like, what the hell
Yeah.
is government name?
Yeah.
Did
That's how we
government
call it
give
here.
you a name
Yeah.
or something? Yeah.
Well, you know how everybody has a nickname, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Specifically me, right?
yeah,
As
in
well.
New York, it's like that. So when we're talking about our regular name, we'll say our government name. That's what we call it here.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Stalin. Yeah, sure.
Yo,
Yeah,
right.
I like the way. By the way, I just watched some live stream. I don't remember the guy. He looks like Richard Hart. Not really like Richard Hart, but his name is Nico somebody. Do you know him?
Oh, the
Ni-
watch guy, the watch guy, the watch guy, the watch
the
guy.
watch guy as well. And he said like there was a donation from Russia, and he decided to
Oh,
switch to. I hear the echo again.
again? Hold on.
Yeah. Stay tuned, everybody. He left and
How
he
about
joined
now?
back. Yes, still there.
All right, let me just switch the headphones because that means that these just want to be a pain in the ass.
It's fine. It's fine.
Nah, I'll just swap it out because I know how annoying that is when you hear an echo. Give me a second. Actually, let me know if you hear it now. Do you hear it now?
Let me tell you. Yeah, just hear this.
Okay. Okay.
Still hearing
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Give me a second.
While Wales only, was going for swimming, we can talk about this. I just took over. Didn't say anything.
How about now?
Should be good. Did you hear anything from me?
No, I don't hear anything on my side.
It's okay. It's okay. No,
no. I'm
nothing
just saying
happened.
it's.
Nothing literally happened. I didn't say anything.
Oh no, I was just checking if you can
Just
hear
I
me.
was kidding. I said that I took over your live stream and then just you popped in. Yeah. So the story.
Yes.
This guy, there was a donation from Russian guy, and he turned on. He thought that he turned on Russian anthem, but apparently he turned on Soviet anthem. The trick is the Soviet anthem and the Russian anthem has the same melody. So when the USSR was dissolved in 1991, the late 1991, Russia took over the melody and just rewrite the whole lyrics for this. And it was like funny seeing when the guy said, "Oh, Russia, Russia," and in the lyrics said that it's all about indestructible Soviet republics. The anthem was about it, and he thought it was about Russia. But yeah, it's pretty tricky. Yeah, cool story, bro. You can say like, very interesting.
Yeah, because that's dangerous, right? I feel like that's dangerous.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. It happens sometimes.
If I was, well, yeah, I mean,
up.
I'm sure it happens, right? But I could only imagine for a person that lived through both how that feels to hear the different one or the one you don't want to hear, right? Yeah,
it's okay. He just resurrected USSR, so it's fine. It's like
we'll just ignore it. It's okay.
It's fine. Yeah, he did twice. I was like, what? Yeah, this Russian guy, he should actually send a message saying that it was not Russian anthem. It was like Soviet anthem guy. You just need to find. Trying to onboard my friend. There was a question from my friend Cass. Trying to onboard my friend who's also my account at LOL. Have you got a simple short explanation of how T-shirts will always go up? That is the last hurdle for him to get involved. Wales only. Your turn.
We do. Yes, we do. And it's this simple. There is literally no line in the code that allows it to function so that it can go down. The only way it goes down is in US dollar value, and it only goes up because the hex rate, the T-share rate, meaning the number of hex you need per T-share requires the number to always go up because that it's literally how it's designed in the code. Like there's no line that says it can go down. So no other alternative besides sideways or up. So
yeah. So we can say that T-shirt price is inflated itself because it actually accrues hex all the time, right?
If you want a mathematical version, yes, you could just say that. Well, the system is designed to print 3.69% inflation, and that inflation is paid out to stakers on a daily basis via their T-share holdings. And this is why T-shares always go up because they always accrue value over time. Because you get paid every day.
Yeah, but the question was like, if we just rewind back in time for 1 year, T-share price in terms of hex was like 10 or 11,000 hex per T-share, and now it's 18,000 something. and it didn't look, and it doesn't look like 3.6169%, but that's where the question came from. It's kind of
Now I'm confused.
okay. So there is a delayed inflation, which we know like 3.669.
Yeah.
It means, what does it mean? It means that you can print more, not a print, but stake, and get more, let's just say mint more hex than 3.69% inflation, right?
Right.
But at the same time, your t-shirt might go way higher, like 60, 70% up in terms of hex.
Yes.
And because hex is going up, t-shirt value goes way faster than like, well, in even the hex drops 50, 60% in some point of time, because t-shirt value in hex amounts is going up. You will never see t-shirt goes down for a long time, but in the very beginning, like when you look at t-shirt price chart.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
You didn't get it at all. Like, Ivan, what the hell are you talking about?
Nah, I got it. You just kind of went a little long way, so you lost me, but I got it. So yeah, I mean, the t-shirt rate is always going to go up because it mimics compounding interest, and the reason it does is because it literally has no option for it to go any other way.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a very simplistic explanation, because you have to understand this is program money. Like, people have to let this notion go of that they think they know what this is. This is not what you think it is. This is program money. So, remember that. Yeah, that's important. It's important. It's very important. That's why I don't like to go and try to relate it to what they already know. Like, no, understand that this is different. This is why you're having a hard time wrapping your head around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's why I like to say, hey, no, hold on. This is program money. So you have to understand that this is not an option in the code. Like, it's not there. So it's not like what we're used to in legacy finance, where things are designed to really work against us. They are designed in that fashion, So that's why it's very important to just point that out. I think is important because, number one, it gives people the right vantage point from which to look at things. And number two, they just learn something they didn't know.
Yeah.
Right. And that's important.
Yeah, sure.
So
I'd like to address the next question to the audience. Why do you always ask people when hex hits 40 cents or 50 cents? I mean, in time perspective. Like, okay, what when you ask this question to any, let's just say to Wales, only to me, to Gerardo, to any guy, ask yourself, what does it change? Well, if you're a speculator and you enter hex just to get the speculative profits and just then fly away out of this and just fix this 34%, this is not the asset for it. It's not been designed just to fix the speculative profits, although acceleration sometimes is really mind-blowing, right? Because and it's all about, well, if you just look at hex, chart is very, very bullish. It's very parabolic. When you just zoom out, really huge.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I like these questions, especially from Alexander. So if you remember the stream with Future Heart, he said, but the value is so low. So what? So what? Why do you think anybody
people are millionaires?
Yeah, I mean, so you can sell more than 40 million and 50 million. All right, so just try the same story with Binance. Just sell for 40 millions of Bitcoin in a single deal. What's going to happen?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Their order books like 1 inch, or less than 1 inch, like 0.1 inch. And when you're gonna sell like 2 millions of Tether, 0.1 inch. It's gonna be fun. Inch. Yeah, like I don't know, 0.00, like the price of Hex was in the very beginning, inch. And every time you will try just to sell $1 million, look at that, what's gonna happen. And you know what? Everybody thinks, like, I just met some people who said market cap is everything we have. Like, it's a limit to us. No.
Market cap is so irrelevant, it's not even funny.
And everybody thought, like, Bitcoin is limited by market cap. Yeah, okay, let's get back in time for 10 years and pick a random guide saying, like, hey, Bitcoin in 2020, or not, sorry, in 2021, the market cap of Bitcoin will be like $1 trillion. Imagine what's going to happen.
Should it not be? Should it just not be $1 trillion because you don't think it should be? Like, is that how this works?
Yeah,
because it's not how it works.
yeah, and
You know what
everybody
I'm
thinks,
saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely. And I think that the whole momentum with the crypto market was done with maximum 5% of supply, especially
yeah,
Bitcoin. Look at
yeah,
dormant wallets; they never moved anything. And why should they? They're billionaires, and they
correct.
probably have tons of these other wallets which were copied, or let's just say he put X amount of BTC here, X amount of BTC there, X amount of BTC there, and he didn't use that. He or the group of people never used this. Why? And this is a very wrong approach at all. Thinking that everybody's like everybody's broken, everybody will be selling at some point everything they have.
Yep,
And
makes no sense. Makes
yes,
zero sense.
these influencers think this way because they are broke. Not maybe they can make like 100,000 millions in money, but their vision and their thinking still they still think like everybody's broke and everybody will be selling all
Right.
of they have all the time. And I really like Hex community for. And there was another thing which I wanted to discuss. If you remember live stream on the BitBoy channel, Boy of Bit, with who was there? Uh, Altcoin Daily, TJ, just another host for BitBoy.
Bitcoin Roundtable or whatever that shit is called. I don't really
I don't
know what it's
know.
called.
I didn't even look into the name. I just watched Richard Hart just really smacking them, just like
Yeah, where
the
people
very
were
next
just
time.
sitting there and just not saying anything because they couldn't say anything.
Yeah, you know the funniest part. You know the funniest part. This is the best video. The best. You know, it has the most impressions, like for the last 2-3 weeks.
Oh wow.
And if you ever ask yourself why other crypto influencers they hate Hex,
Yeah.
whenever you build your empire in lies, there's no way back. There is no way
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
There's
you
nothing
have
you
to
can
play
do.
your
It
role.
doesn't matter if you hate Hex or not. Like you're just screwed.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
people
you
are gonna ultimately find out whether it's through Hex or something else. Right?
Yes, and you have to play your role. You have to say Hex is bullshit and blah 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 and other stuff, and let's buy Polygon and then just being hacked with this DeFi and just put
Yeah.
your money like box mining did.
Yeah, it's crazy
Our crypto
because
is decentralized. You can do anything you want. Hacker hacked Polygon and never moved any money because they were marked there, literally. So what are you gonna do with this? No, nothing. Morning Hex fam, morning.
morning to everyone and evening to everyone and good day to everyone.
Evening to me because it looks like I'm only here in Russia living. It's 7 p.m. like 7:30. Yeah, there are people from Great Britain. Hey, it's Crypto Bobcat, Alfred. Yeah, it's me. Oh, you just only realized that we've been running for 23 minutes, and you go, "Hey, it's Crypto Bobcat." Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. By the way,
This
I
is a
just
good
hear an
question.
echo. Can you pull,
Again?
yeah, sure. Plug
This
it off.
must be
Like
StreamYard.
try for 15 seconds. I don't know. Maybe it will help. Just put it off. Put it
How
in.
about now?
Maybe not still yet. Can you just relog in it yourself?
Now,
Guys, I'm just kidding. I just made you leave the stream.
how about
Yeah,
now?
yeah, it's fine. Now it's better.
Okay, cool.
Now it's better. Yeah, guys, can you please put a plus if you hear me nice because I'm not so sure about this.
You sound fine. You sound fine.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean,
So
yeah,
this question is interesting because it depends where you are. This isn't a question that we can really talk about. It depends where you live, and this is why we can't talk about this question. Like for example, if you live in the United States, you shouldn't be doing any financial transactions that are bigger than $10,000 even. It should literally be $9,999 or smaller.
yeah,
And in general, if you're dealing with dollars, your transaction should not be bigger than $9,999 if you don't want to get KYC, basically, up the ass.
yeah. So what are these rectangles about? I would say not rectangles, but rectangles for other who doesn't like Hex.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because those boxes to me just define a consolidation period, and that's just how I track it, right? Because nothing consolidates forever, right?
Yeah.
And once something breaks out of that consolidation period, it usually just goes to another level. And that's what we always see with Hex, right? And
Sure.
that's usually how markets trade if they're going to go in a specific direction. And this is exactly what this is showing. And that's why I have the boxes there just to keep us in check. And I had them at one point up here for Bitcoin.
Oh my God. This is a
Yeah,
pink in Miami Vice like technical analysis. Yeah, like it.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens because it's not looking good, but it is staying above the middle band of the RSI, which is usually bullish. But then it has to contend with this downward pressure that's exists on momentum.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens because now the MACD is also negative, right? And
yeah,
usually not.
Sorry,
bullish.
I just saw the nation from Alan. He said, "The mother Russia Hex stakes you."
Hold on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for the super chat, brother.
We have a little bit different approach in Russia, so it's fine.
That's super funny, man.
Yeah, whenever the rest world Hex stakes Hex, in Russia Hex stakes you.
That's right.
Absolutely. So come to Russia if you want to be staked at some point.
All right. Yeah. Not burned at the stake, but staked.
Yeah. We're staked. Well, probably medium. Maybe rare. Maybe well done. Who knows?
Oh, man. There you go.
Yeah, so it's true. I worked as a casino dealer when I was young, and many Chinese restaurant owners would come in all the time with 9,900 in 5s, 10s, and 20s low. Okay, good. Nothing to add. So they're pretty like. Why is 99? You kind of have a limit to deposit into casino, like $10,000.
So what happens is after $10,000, they start looking because you're giving them a reason to look. Because why are you moving this much money and not paying taxes on it or whatever their excuse is? There literally doesn't have to be any legit excuse.
Yeah,
they just need to see it. You know, they just want to know. Yeah. Like for example, when I send money home, there was a point in time where I was using Western Union and they wanted to take a picture of me just for sending like $200 US.
Wow, home. Cool.
Yeah.
So you were a model there.
Get the F out of here. Yeah. I was like, get the F out of here. And I never used them again because that makes zero sense. And this was back in the day. This was before all of this constant selfie taking that we all have to do now.
Yeah, nothing changed. You can go to Binance and send pictures of yours and just selfies, hostage selfies. Yeah, if you want to see your money back, send your ass. Everybody wants to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Binance. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Never send your money to Binance. That's the story. That's the story. Never. Yeah. So what's going on with Bitcoin? Is it going to die? Is it going to do...
It's not going to die, but it's not looking bullish right now. But then it's looking like maybe it did reset on this trend line.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is market structure. This is just how I do my trend lines, just based off of market structure.
Yeah.
And, you know, markets move around market structure, you know, and they just connect, and that's just how it ends up happening. I don't really know how else to explain it, but clearly it works, right? Like you see it all the time.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, it just exists.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a second, guys.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Telegram, nice. Did you guys take a time to make a picture on the live stream? Just get back and make a picture and say hi.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw your messages.
Yeah,
and the FBI and CIA is here just to.
Yeah, they're always watching, right? Even when they're not.
You can swim. They can't. Sorry.
Correct.
But you can. You're just the well. You can just jump in the water and say, "Hey, get me there."
Good luck.
Yeah, caught me if you can.
Correct.
Catch me.
Oh, you ever seen that movie? What's the name of that movie?
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, sure. In Russia, we're not living in the 15th century. We know that movies. It's okay. We're watching Hollywood movies. Yeah. Very interesting.
This stuff here, right? But you got to understand, right? Like for crypto, it's easy to say it's gonna go down and it just keep going up, but that doesn't mean it's not gonna eventually go down. because you know the market moves how the market moves, right? And it's a function of capital flow. And that's why I like to go on nomics.com and check what is going on in Tether.
Yeah.
And as we can see, we have 30%
I don't
or
see it.
50% of the market
Can you
cap.
zoom in? Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in, please? More. I'm just kidding. Yeah, sure, I see. I was thinking, until what point you're gonna zoom in? Like the whole screen will be like 94 billion.
I know you're messing around. That's why I'm playing with you too, bro. But check it, right? Because this is a good thing to look at. People need to understand this. There's only 64.458 billion of Tether dollars in circulation. However, the volume is 50% greater than this number. Why?
That's a good question. It's just a present from the Federal Reserve System.
Pretty much.
It's okay. It's always there. Just guys, we're gonna back you up. No worries.
That's it.
Whatever number it is, we didn't just care
until we don't feel like it. Because the thing about it is, you got to realize they make the rules.
Very important point, guys. Everybody remember this. Okay, capture it. Make a video. Make a short. Brian, are you there? Just make a video now. There is a wisdom comes upon us. Just quiet. Man. Whales only. Say it, please.
Check it.
You have no time. Just tell it. Tell it, man.
Here we go. We are currently seeing a total repo count now of over 1 trillion USD.
Yeah, it's okay. It also goes up and to the right. Yeah.
The problem with this is that when this goes up and to the right like this, it usually means that this is going to go into the right, which did happen, right? Starting in April. When did this start? Oh,
in April.
Interesting. In April as well. Huh. I wonder what that means. Huh. Well, I guess we'll find out one day. However, in the meanwhile, enjoy your Fed-induced pump.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because the math
they
does
actually
not
tell
lie.
you that every dollar goes like 1.5 times for the day. Somebody buys, somebody sells, and somebody half buys it. Like this.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Yeah, very logic is on the next level with this. Especially with the market. I just remember time when we captured the very last bull run, not the last bull run, but the bull run before, especially 2017. The market cap was like 850 billion, and the overall amount of Tether was like 1.5 billion. And I was like, what? How are you going to sell all of these assets to Tether? So there's a very, very well. Let's break it down, guys. Super, super important information. How markets are doing tops and how markets are doing bottoms. To address the question, just to actually explain it, you need just to ask yourself. I love asking myself just to get to the conclusion, to some precise conclusion. When people get into the asset, and this is going to be applied to HEX as well. The major part of people will start investing HEX at the top. Let's just say not at the top is the top of the HEX when it goes like to some numbers like $1, $10, $100, whatever. But let's just say some major top from where we can experience some 70, 80% drop. Let's just say like this, because it happens sometime and it's quite normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. There was like the greatest idea with the Tether, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, but Tether has a very precise part of BTC as its collateral there, right? Like 10 and 20%. So what do I think they do after a massive desperate dropout when people are vomiting because they want to see BTC and they want to invest into this? Tether usually starts printing money, like out of thin air, like 10 millions. So what they do, they invest these millions in Bitcoin slowly, but let's just say they just do it within a week or two, and then Bitcoin, sorry for this, And then Bitcoin goes like 40, 50%. Here's the catch. Your collateral goes like 50% from the point you were. Let's just say you were 100 billion and 20 billion out of this was in Bitcoin. Bitcoin went up 50%. Your collateral went up 10 billion. So you can print more Tether to pump the market and more Tether to pump the market. And in theory, it never
Never
stops.
ends. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
perpetual,
but
self-perpetuating cycle.
yeah, but at some point of time, it stops because the selling pressure is so high, or let's just say the group of people who are interested in pumping the market all the time, they decided, yeah, that's it. And if you ever, wondering why Richard Hart is very accurate at his just predictions, in 2017, market topped when CME or futures has been created and actually,
Right.
started in the market. People can actually trade the futures. This time it was Coinbase Pro and IPO. So every time, every top, some major event triggered the top all the time. And the same story with Ethereum. Every 27 days, like after the BTC, sorry, English is my best language, especially when you're in Russia and nobody speaks it there. And, and it's an evening. Yeah, so sorry for this, but yeah, bear with me. It's a Russian English. You're having the best experience you've ever had. So it's fine. Let's get back to the point. About the tops. Top is
Yeah.
finally made. You have 27 days until the Ethereum will top itself. And then all the market goes like to the bottom. And then I don't know, probably it looks like a dead cat bounce. Really.
Correct. That's exactly what I think it is.
I really like Richard Hart's live streams. He comes on the live streams, say like very fundamental, very simple things. Very simple. Even a 5-year-old baby will understand this, who never ever heard of crypto.
Well, apparently
But,
not, but if you say so.
no, listen. Well, he said, okay, institutional bought. Everybody bought. Who's gonna buy next? Who?
Yep.
Aliens?
Yep. But
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, that's the thing.
Yeah,
How much more complicated does it get? But yet, it's clearly not that simple. Apparently.
Yeah, it's a reflexive system, and I really agree. That's why I like Richie Hart, and that's why I started, doing technical analysis on Hex. And let's just say I just bought some Hex because I like the truth, and there
Who
you won't
doesn't?
find many. What?
I said, who doesn't?
Many people. Why
They
do you
think
think
they
they
don't.
they follow George? They follow Beat Boy. They follow any big.
It's because that's what they're used to, bro. It's not because that's what they like. You have to understand, people are generally never going to take the action that they need to take in order to achieve the things that they actually want to achieve. That's just a sad fact. Period. That's
Yeah.
why communism existed for a long time. That's why my country existed under a dictator for a long time. That's
Okay.
why. Because people just sit their asses down, they get comfortable, and they say, this is okay. This is good enough. That's why that happens.
Yeah.
I used to be complacent. This is how I know. This is why people don't succeed.
Yeah, maybe people don't want to just think, or even let's just
They
say
don't.
they don't even question themselves, like
Correct.
even in their existence, like even
Yeah.
even what they do.
In most cases, no, people don't.
Yeah, and I like seeing in the Telegram Hex charts group like predictions. In 6 months, Hex will be this, P Hex will be this, E Hex will be this, Pulse will be this. And I also want to ask, how did you get these numbers? I will like how.
Mhm.
You need to, well, everything you're doing in your life need to be very reasonable. If you do something like, because, well, you can do some things unreasonably, like breathe, eat. Well, you can do just reasonable eat, but in the same time, like some biological things. Let's just say,
Right.
yeah, you don't need just to overthink this, but sometimes you need. If you just, for example, if you eat much, you have obesity. If you don't eat much, you have anorexia, or how does it call it in English? If you, well, we we gathered to talk about Hex, but we're not talking about Hex. We're talking about some existence problems, existence and problems which existence have. But it's okay. It's fine. I just love this random random questions, random answers, and it's fine. It feels you so
But
good.
but that's the thing, right? That's what's crazy about Hex, because it kind of forces all of these conversations to happen,
Yeah,
right? And those conversations aren't unimportant, and people are typically afraid to have them, right? And the reason is because everything nowadays is politically charged when it shouldn't be. People should be very comfortable talking about whatever's on their damn mind, because you're just thinking, man. There's nothing wrong with talking about what you're thinking.
yeah, sure.
But we live in a world where that's dangerous,
Mhm.
right? So if we don't stop that, right, where does it end? you
Yeah,
know. So
and
that's why, we talk about all these different things, because Hex brings all these things out, because crypto is a political statement.
yeah, free, free speech. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Hex, Pulse, sacrifice. Everything. It's all about this
correct.
and about the influences. I think the 95% or even more, they didn't even look into Hex. They didn't even try just to understand. Well, you know why they call Hex as a scam? Why they think the Hex is a scam? Because they get used to this. They get used to the fact that the whole crypto is a scam at some point, right? They know,
Yeah,
like, you can well, if you think that well, we know that just to get price higher, we need just to buy more and sell less, correct? And they
straightforward.
can really yeah, there's a 5D. What we're gonna put there?
Updates per
Fi-
candle.
5D, yeah, 5 days. Okay. How you do that? I just want to do this as well. What do
I
you
just type in 5, like
No, I mean
number
how you
5.
get into the window where it change interval. How you do this?
Oh, I pay for it. That's probably why.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
because I do a little scripting. Like, these lines are mine. They don't come with
Oh, it was
trading view.
designed by you, right?
Yeah, the math behind them is designed by me. Yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. Great
So
intelligent guy here, everybody. Subscribe to us only. Just put a reminder there. That's a great guy. Yeah, I'm a guest. I'm shilling you in your channel just to
yeah,
subscribe.
right. That's funny.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, if you're new and you never seen us doing a live stream, it's okay. We never done this before, but
All right,
you need to subscribe to Wells Only. If you never did
and
that,
don't forget to
I will
subscribe to
find you.
Bobcat
How
too. The
Liam is.
crypto
Yeah,
Bobcat. We don't
no,
want him to
crypto
find
bucket.
you.
Nah, nah. That's just a random guy popped on the stream, but Wales Only.
Let's
And
see.
if you don't subscribe to him, if something happens with him, I will find you
You
and
saw
I
that
will make
movie.
you subscribe. Yeah, Liam needs.
I have a particular set of skills,
Yeah,
and I will
yeah.
make you subscribe.
Tactical skills. And that will make you cry when you will not
Oh
invest in
man.
Hex, and Hex will go to, let's just say, some price. Let's just say I think that Hex within the next, let's just say, fractal, or after it will break all-time high, let's just say 40 cents is pretty doable.
Yeah, well, look, I don't think people thought we were about to get like to 19 cents yesterday, and here we are. So, I mean, people didn't think we were going to get to 10 cents this year.
10 cents
And
this year.
yeah, and here
Yeah,
we are.
back in the time, right?
Right. Back in the day, like when I first came around, people didn't think we would even see 2 cents, like, consistently. They
Another
thought we were just
trick.
going to keep going.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm
No, no
so
worries.
like interruptive guy. Yeah, so sorry, but just it's okay. I really like that you're laughing at it. I have no problem that guys really having great time with me. So remember yourself, like, let's just say in December last year when Hex is retesting 1 cent again. It actually broke it one time, then it went down, and then it started basically returning into 1 cent. Everybody was thinking, wow, it would be nice to have $1, right?
Yep.
We need 2 fractals to get to $1, roughly. It was like 5 cents, then it went to 10 cents, corrected. Well, basically, there was a correction down to 6 cents, somewhere like this. Then we pumped to 20 cents. We had a correction down to 11 cents, and we are actively approaching the retesting all-time highs. And the next one, and the next one. And Hex is really looking like Bitcoin back in time, but Bitcoin is kind of stretched in time for 12 years. And Bitcoin has done like 7 million X. But Hex, I don't really get the real number there. thousands x, thousands, hundreds of percents, right? But let's just say
Yeah.
Hex is a minute. I wouldn't address the code and let's just say other narratives, but in terms of price appreciation, Hex is the mini version of Bitcoin, but accelerated 3 times or 4 times. That's why everybody likes Hex. Not too many people understand Hex because they were like, "What is certificate of deposit? How T-share works? What's about a EES, which is emergency at stake?" By the way, okay, I'm just very talkative. Sorry for this. There's another theory about it about EES. I just checked the Explorer Etherscan and checked the holders, especially the toppest one. And I found you can actually open it on your screen if you want to. You just type etherscan.org, find the hex, and find the smart contract and the holders tab. By the way, there was one donation. Our therapist, sorry, dude, we never met before. Matt Yellen. I'm so sorry. We never met before. Maybe I pronounced your name right, but you're just the great guy. The guy with the long hair. He's a good guy. He's in friend. Yeah, with Kareem. I saw his videos from Vegas. No offense, guy. It's okay. It's nice to be a Russian.
Thanks for the super chat, Matty. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
bro.
love the real talk. Thank you, guys. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's just very knowledgeable, very intelligent as well, and I really like him. So you're a big guy. Send the super chat to Wells Only just to know what you think about it. Yeah, sorry.
So no worries. Let's answer this question right here. So you sacrificed towards Pulse. Do you have a high chance of getting wrecked by investing smaller than 100? Are you saying that you only invested 100? Because that's what I'm gonna answer you like. So we're just gonna answer that question like that. And please give me a second because the world is always ending over here.
Okay, guys, police is after him again, and I can help you there.
I'm back.
But so this is the fastest. Yeah, the crack sellers will love you. You just handle the police matter just in a second.
Seconds.
Yeah,
it's too easy, man. It's too easy. Too easy.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't be too bad.
No, it's okay. We live in Russia. We don't have any sort of limits. We don't care about hurting someone's feelings. And it's okay. We were oppressed until 1882. Yeah, so it's fine. Whatever. Like, it's fine. Okay, this is the story. If I can say so, I'm not going to say the precise word, but let's just say like this. I know that in America, white people can say N-word. I'm not going to say this. I really respect all the people because it's fine. But in Russia, for some reason, some very smart, intelligent Russian people call Afro-Americans with this word and never, feel any bad for this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because of Russia, because we were oppressed ourselves maybe 1.5 century ago. But yeah, forget about it. This is a very stupid, let's
different place, man. So different connotation.
Not a good audience just to reveal that, but let's just say.
I mean, it doesn't matter because nobody here is ever going to know unless they're there. So.
Yeah, sure.
Like if you walked around and said that here, you would lose your teeth in 2.5 seconds and you wouldn't even know what happened.
2.5, you kind of measure this.
No, probably quicker than that. I was just being generous. You just can't walk around saying
no,
that word.
No. I'm not gonna do this.
No. I'm just saying. Like I'm just saying the difference.
Okay.
Right?
Don't kill me. Don't kill me. No.
No.
I have problems, sir. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's okay.
So look, if you only invested $100 in Pulse, like that's all you sack, you're not gonna get a shit ton of Pulse, but you're gonna get something, and something is better than nothing when you're getting it at 0. Mm-hmm. So you can't lose, basically.
I'm impersonating this guy because you're kind of explaining, and I'm that guy. Yeah. It's
there
fine.
You go. Yeah.
So long story short, everything will be fine. You'll be like just rich as a, everything will be fine. No worries about this.
Yeah.
Hex cool off after Snapshot thoughts. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, depends what happens before the snapshot. And I'm thinking,
And are you?
well, could be, but what could happen is that Richard could ignite, right? The what do they call it?
The haters asses, yeah.
Yeah, and force them to buy Hex by announcing a snapshot, right? Like he could basically ignite a whole crypto bull market if
Yeah.
people understand that it's going to be the whole market that's going to be replicated, right? So there's really no telling if it's just going to, like, this could completely keep going, right? Because anything on that sacrifice list, I think is going to be, no, I don't think Bitcoin's going to be duplicated. It's ETH, right? So anything that's ERC20 is going to be duplicated on that network. So this could easily keep going.
I think that
Right.
EHEX, BHEX price will be the same. So why should they be different?
Because it's starting at zero
So what? I
at
think,
first,
well,
right?
sure, but
Like it has a trade there, is what I'm saying.
all right. Does Tether, well, if you compare Tether and Circle USDC, do they have any differences in price? Well, yeah, stablecoin is a very bad, example, but let's assume.
Yeah, it is a bad example. I mean, but the whole point is it's supposed to stay at one, right? But they don't.
Yeah.
But they don't. I mean, that's why we're laughing.
So sorry,
'Cause, like,
guys. So sorry,
it's,
guys.
it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, sure. We just just came on the stream just to have a great time and educate you, but we ended up just having fun and laughing. Yeah, your guest is a troll. It's all good though. Well, okay. I'm gonna put my suit on and I'm gonna say we're gonna speak about like just philosophy and everything, just material, and I don't know about everything. Just no fun.
You gotta
Restricted.
have fun. You gotta have fun. You gotta have fun. And
There's
I mean, look,
Area 54, and when you go to Wells only, there's Area 55 where you can have fun. You can
actually, when we went to Vegas, there was an Area 15, and it was a fun place. So yes, we do that.
We got a situation here. There are people who are having fun.
Yeah,
I need a backup. I need a backup.
Fun. Yeah, gotta have fun. Yeah, gotta have fun, and that's okay. We do what we gotta do.
Telling us he's a part of the Russian mafia. How did he get that? If you would like to have fun from a Russian English accent, you need to Google YouTube. Let me speak from my heart. Mutko, Mutko, and if you would like just to really have fun from a Russian English accent, you need to go here. That's a marvelous accent. He doesn't even try.
English accent.
If you want to hear how he speaks, I'm gonna try to impersonate him. This is the way I speak English, but this is the way he speaks English, and it really sounds like this. He never tries to even to try just to make sounds like American or English people, English speaking people do. It's okay. All right, there's another donation from Alan.
Thanks for the super chat, Alan, because this is actually a great question, because I ask myself this question all the damn time. And I'll tell you what it is. It's just a psychological reality that we have to deal with here. And it's just that people here are just honestly lazy as fuck. Yep. And they prefer convenience over privacy and security. They think a third party can solve all of their problems because they don't realize that the third party is the entity creating their problems. So that is why people here don't take crypto seriously. Some of us do because we understand what's going on, because I live here and I take it very seriously. So clearly some of us understand what's going on. And, until things don't actually happen, like what you're detailing here, I'm afraid that might be the case. So we'll just see what happens in the future, because right now things are very rocky here, as they're trying to impose all these nonsensical draconian laws, and people are just not sitting down and taking it. So it's going to be fun to see what happens here in the future, because they have no choice but to continue to try. They honestly don't, because if they don't, then what the hell was the point of 2020? Kind of calls everything into question, because nothing changed. What's changed? Nothing. You were just told a whole bunch of bullshit for a whole year. That's all.
Sure.
So,
So Alan,
you
nothing
know,
to add. Wilson, they just broke it down for you.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy, man. It's kind
It's
of crazy.
fine. It's fine. No, I mean it's very
Crazy.
intelligent. Yeah, great.
So this is a good one. After the fork, how much will Hex pump?
Dump.
Answer, same as Big Payday. Why? Both events approximately double your coins. Well, actually, I think it'll be more because this is an actual 100% increase, whereas Big Payday, I think, was only like a 30% increase in the coin supply. So should be bigger, a bigger, faster ramp, actually.
There is a riddle for you. If you think, well, if your statement tells you that you kind of think, okay, there was an e-hex, now there is a p-hex, there are e-hex and p-hex, and Ethereum hex should be doubled down. So why do you think that other cryptocurrencies shouldn't be doubled down? Because there's P Cake, P BTC, P Ethereum, and etc. etc. This is the
Because
very simple question answer.
those
Sorry.
coins don't work like that. Yeah, those coins don't work
Yeah.
like
So why the hex should go down twice? No.
that. Yeah, no. I mean, this is going to be completely different for Hex. The rest of the market is just a market. It's a speculative market. Hex serves a very specific function, and whoever understands that is going to act in accordance with that. And that's why we can speak concretely or positively about what the price of Hex should do,
Mhm.
right? What it should do, because we can't control bad actors within the system, right? Like this is a bad actor because who dumps whatever that number of dollars was? I think it was like $6 million on one click, and you know that was probably 10 million before he clicked that button.
Mhm.
Because there's always going to be slippage when you do a one shot, one kill trade like that in size.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, of
People
course it's
buy it
fine.
for
It gave
size.
people a great
Yeah.
opportunity. So it was a gift in reality, right?
Oh, so
But you,
stupid, dude. Like,
yeah, but you just got to
it didn't work.
understand that this can happen and that it's never going to last. That's not the case for the promise coin space, period.
Yeah. There's a guy who's spamming the numbers, like your moderator point. I'm sorry, there's 6 numbers: 18, 20, 87. What the hell is this? Yeah.
The price, man, the price of Hex. You
Oh,
just
he's
forgot
kind of
to,
updating everybody on price. Okay.
yeah.
Are there any numbers after 7? Like we like in Formula One, there's like seconds, milliseconds, and blah 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 blah. That much numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. No worries about that, guys. So my
I love this. It's so funny, man.
would you like me to have in another live stream?
Because it's true.
What's
Yeah,
true?
Hex,
I mean, would you like me
Hex
to
is
do
a
in
pump
another
and
live
pump.
stream?
What's up? Yeah, sure, bro. We can do another live stream anytime. It's hard for me to do them in the middle of the day like this, though. So
Yeah, sure. How about
it'll have
3
to
in the
be.
morning your time? Would you be up for this?
If I'm up,
You said any time. I hear it.
if I am up.
It's fine. I'm not gonna make you do that.
Nah, well, you know what? I'll check what's 9 to what's a wake time over there, and then I'll see what's a wake time over here because I don't know the time zone. Are you what are you west of St. Petersburg or west of Moscow? Where are you?
I'm in the same time zone.
Okay, perfect.
If
That's
you
all
would
I
like
needed
to
to
know
know.
just precise city, you don't know many Russian city.
No, I just needed to know the time zone. That's all.
Yeah, Moscow.
Yeah, good enough.
Moscow, Estonian. Let's just say Moscow, right? It's a GMT plus 3 or something. I don't really remember, but let's just say, okay, there's a prediction for Hex price after it hits 20 cents. Well, basically, we actually hit 90 cents in just 2 videos ago. I just made a conclusion that because we actually repeated many times, after basically we just did a triple top this time, made a huge deep correction, and every time when you trying just to get out of the huge correction into the previous all-time highs, you can break this all-time high within the first attempt.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to basically dive back again, like for 410 9% usually, and then within the 4th attempt or the 5th attempt, it finally will be broken to the top side, and then you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna happen. It's time, and just Hex price goes all the way up, higher than 20 cents.
Yeah, vertical.
Vertical.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
I lost the vertical control. Help me
yeah,
out.
yeah, this is gonna get crazy. This is gonna get crazy
Yeah.
because you can see Hex is just like it keeps getting like the inclination keeps getting steeper and steeper.
Yeah.
So
UFC fan love it. People
the
say, yeah,
next,
it's from MMA, just UFC, but I never watched any.
yeah, I don't
I
even like talking
actually,
about them because
I
like
actually
they'll
looked it up.
pull streams for talking about it. Like it's
Yeah.
retarded.
So I have like 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If yeah, so you can shoot any question.
Yeah, if you
And
guys got any questions, send them in now 'cause we're about to wrap it up.
yeah, should we have more people next time?
Maybe,
I would be like
maybe
an
not.
igniter. I would be just, having fun, telling about everything and just having fun. Yeah.
I mean, it was a good conversation. We covered some good topics.
Yeah,
We
sure
did
we did.
we
Sure we
played
did.
around a lot, but we did have
Come
we
on,
covered
man.
some
We
good
didn't cover
topics.
anything. We didn't cover mostly
Well,
anything,
I
which
mean,
is
there's not much to cover. You know, people could have asked questions. We asked them to ask, so we covered what we covered. I think it's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know what I mean?
But
So it's
yeah.
all good. Yeah, don't feel no type of way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All good. Why does Nomics display? See, this is a good question, and others do not. Well, Randy, others have a vested interest in misleading the public, whereas Nomics does not. So that's the actual answer to the question. Everybody knows the other market coin ranking sites, but nobody really knows Nomics. You got to ask yourself, why is that? That's the answer to your question.
Yeah. Because Richard Hart, not like say, nobody was paid with hacks. That's why we're not on the coin market cap and on the on the first page in the first top
Hmm.
10. Let's just like this. Everybody
Right.
wants money.
Yep.
Everybody wants it.
Right.
Let's just say we're gonna do our own way to the
No,
top.
it is not different. So to answer Randy's follow-up question, it is not different than others, but apparently they have integrity and others do not.
Yeah.
So pretty straightforward. So to answer this question, I'm still hashing it out. Don't
Yep.
entirely know yet, but I definitely want to make better charts as far as for the website goes because those are just images and that's pretty
Mm-hmm.
lame.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna like write more, put content there that people have heard me said before, but in writing because it's just gonna hit different and it's gonna record itself differently. So that
Mm-hmm.
be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna be writing some more stuff
Yep.
because it's stuff people need to know. There's one thing to hear me say it, it's another thing to have it there to read. So I think that'll be good for people too.
Okay.
So we'll see.
So sorry. So sorry. I gotta
No
go.
worries, bro. No worries,
Thank you
bro.
very much for having me. I never expected this would go. This stream went this way, but it was great. We just had a very, very good time. People were great. Uh, Echoes were great. We just had, really good time trolling each other. Yeah, this is the approach to your life. If you feel
Yes.
desperate, if you feel sad, just hop on
Have
the
fun.
stream. Yeah,
Have fun, man. Have
yeah,
fun.
we can troll each other. It's fine. We
Yeah.
never seen it, and each other, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We're not
I'm
gonna
not going
kill.
to end the stream just yet, but I'll keep yapping since people probably want me to keep yapping for a little bit here. I'll give you guys another 20, maybe 30. But yeah, you go ahead, brother. You bounce. I know you got stuff to do.
Yeah,
And we'll just keep talking some hex. And you can check out the rest at some other point. And we'll stream
yeah,
again for sure, man, because it was fun.
sure.
It was fun.
We should do that next week. So thank you, everybody. If you're not subscribed to Wales Only, you know what you need to do. There is a button saying subscribe. Push it.
Yeah.
Push it as hard as you can. Then leave it be. Then there is a bell. So call the bell. And send a message. If you send a super chat, that would be nice. I'm not gonna bait for you this, but it's fine. If you like to check out, check my channel and leave a comment how bad I am. So it's fine. Thank you, everybody.
No problem. He's one of the latest Hexagon streamers, people. So subscribe to his channel. Check him out. Check him out.
Thank you, everybody. So
Have a
farewell.
good one, brother. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace. All right, guys. So let's answer this question. Am I going to buy PHEX when it launches, or are you chilling and relaxing when it launches? Well, I unfortunately was not around the first days of Hex, so I will be trying to buy some more as soon as the chain launches, because why not? In my mind, I don't think you can ever have enough of a quantity of hex. I mean, seriously cannot. Because it's like saying you can have too many businesses or too many stock, too many shares of stock. Like it's just a question that's clearly not, that answer is non-existent. You cannot have enough, right? Because your lineage is going to continue on after you. So why not create a new tradition, a new life, a new cycle for your family after you found something like Hex, which is essentially a business in the terms of returns, right? Because if you think about it, what other endeavor generates or gives you the ability to generate? Oh, and this reminds me, there was a question earlier about the APY and the average staking length and what that means, and I'll get to that. I did not forget about you because, yes, numbers are important to me. I can't remember anything else, but I remember stuff related to numbers. I think that's the secret there. Why, does Warren Buffett have enough shares? I don't think so. He keeps buying him up, right? And I think when you look at any other rich person, they don't stop doing what they're doing. They just keep doing more of it. And it could be a function of it, that being just what they like to do, or that being that's what drives them. But my point is, if you want to make things a little easier, right, on your future family, don't ever stop accumulating. There's no reason to. This code is supposed to exist for at least 150 years. So that's a whole lot of generations. Act accordingly. Most conservative price estimate in 5 years. Well, let's look at some charts, right? Because that is how we make this assessment. So let's see here. And again, this is just a prediction. It means nothing. But we must understand what has happened so far before we can consider what may happen in the future. So Hex is approximately 20 months old as of this month. This data is from the crossover of the 17th of August, so it's about a couple of days old. We are 611 days in, and Hex is already 80,000. It's probably higher, but 80,000% return, basically. This is minus 2 weeks of data. So conservatively, we can say Hex is up to 80,000%. So this is 40 to 1 or 80 to 1 versus Bitcoin, right? Let's do the math. 80,000 divided by 1, 80. So now we know in guarantee terms that we are outperforming Bitcoin at a rate of 80 to 1 present day, which is pretty sick. So let's rip that apart. Let's just make it 10 to 1. Let's be super duper conservative and make it 3 to 1. If we make it 3 to 1, that means that in 5 years, assuming that Hex continues its present day trajectory, right? Where was Bitcoin in 5 years? Let's see. Okay, so it launched in 2008 or 9 plus 4 is 14. So we don't even have a price here. Okay, yeah, let's look at end of year 2014. Yeah, January 6th. Okay, so $340 is what you saw in Bitcoin 5 years in. I think a conservative estimate, in all honesty, is $1,000 at least in 5 years, because you have to take into account the fact that this is an actual productive asset. This is like a business, because what business gives you a rate of return like Hex with no overhead? None. And once people figure out the math behind Hex, I mean, it's just going to be a no-brainer. So I don't know if you guys look at the Hex bot or follow it on Twitter or whatever, but I suggest you do, because you'll see a lot of the flow that's happening right now. And one thing that I've noticed, which is a lot more prevalent today than it's ever been, is that you see 8-figure transactions. Now, I don't know about you, but there are not many markets that can just handle 8-figure transactions in any capacity. Doesn't matter if it's staking or whatever. So you just had $28 million or so worth of HEX get staked for like 30 days or something, 90 days, 100 days, maybe. Maybe it was a quarter. Can't remember how long it was, but it was a short-term stake, maybe 120 days, something like that. But now all of those HEX are gone, right? Like they are no longer available to be sold, right? They're not really available to be sold. And that's the key, right? That's what keeps this price looking like this. I mean, this chart is crazy. This is V1. This is all the data that exists for HEX, right? Version 1. And it still tracks to a certain degree, but you know, the liquidity on V1 is very small. Only sometimes is it good to trade there. So we're at 18 cents right now, and we're 80,000 X ahead of or 80X ahead of Bitcoin because of where we started in price, aka the unit bias. But the question is, well, the question then becomes, well, how can I foresee $1,000 price level? And it's because, well, HEX is designed to do two things. It's designed to go up and to the right, and it's designed to generate value. So where do I get this $1,000 number from? Well, number one, we have to understand what drives the value of HEX, right? And that's this T-share rate, right? This T-share rate is what determines how much these two are going to cost. Or excuse me, let me rephrase. These two cost what they cost. And the T-share rate is going to be that because of these two. But the thing about it is as the time passes, the system has to recalibrate itself in accordance with these values, right? So that's a whole lot saying a whole lot of nothing in a certain way. So what you have to understand is that this here is the value proposition. This is what determines that HEX is always going to go up in price, because T-shares are always going to go up in price, because this can only go up in price. So by default, it's already propelled to go up in price only. So that's step one in understanding that this could at least be $340 at that point in time. Because we have to remember that when HEX started, or I'm sorry, not HEX, Bitcoin. Let me pull up the actual, was it BLX? Yeah. Let's put 13 days on each candle. When Bitcoin started, give me a second. When Bitcoin started, right, nobody knew it existed. See, we're only even picking up data from July 2010. This had already been around 7 to 8 months already. But we're missing all of that data. So we don't really know the price history for Bitcoin because it doesn't really exist in these terms, right? So we would have to come back and look at, let's see if it pops up. No, I'm going to have to pull up because I have a, why is it not showing? Let me see, where is the crypto stuff? All-time Bitcoin charts, where are you? There we go. Okay. So we're going to look at July 2000. Okay, that's good enough. Hold on, let me go a little further. Okay, here we go. So this is what we actually have as far as price goes, right? Price action for Bitcoin. We have 3 zeros, as you can see. Let's see if it'll let me go up there. So if you look to the right of where the cursor currently is, you'll see the price of Bitcoin in USD terms. And you'll see 3 zeros. HEX started, I think, at 3 zeros too, if I remember correctly. Where is it? Okay, so here we have 4 zeros. 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. So one more zero. So it did 10x more, right? We can presume that, right? So here we have a price that's 10x higher at the start, right? But let's look at where Bitcoin is 20 months from its inception. And the inception here is this what is it? October 2009. Let me make sure that that is the right date. Yep, October 2009. And here we go. This is the name of the entity that was tracking the price at the beginning, because this was the only place to buy and sell really Bitcoin in a centralized fashion at the time where you can get fiat. So 20 months in, we got October plus 12 months plus 12 months is 2 years, right? So let's step back out and let's go from October to October 2012. So October 2012, it's at $11. That's what Bitcoin is in October 2012. $11. So that's 20 months in, right? But here's the thing. Actually, no, that's not 20 months in. That's 24. Minus 4 is August. Here we go. So $10. That's where it was 20 months in. But we have to remember a couple of things. This market, the only market, low liquidity, right? All of these different things that just existed at the time. And all of the people that bought Bitcoin down here, they were not the people that were buying or selling Bitcoin even up here. There's very few people, right? So all of these things have to be taken into account, because then it's like saying, well, oh, well, if Bitcoin is already at $30, you know, however many years in or months in, then how is it better than Bitcoin? Well, you can't count it from inception, right? Because it really only went live here, right? It only went live at 2 zeros and a 3. So from 2 zeros and a 3 to 30 or $10, it's not the same rate of return, right, as it is for the math that we have. And we'll go into that for a second just to get the X here. Okay, so there you go, 3,000x, right? That's the original move for the first 20 months of Bitcoin, basically. And for Hex, we're at what? Oh, let's just do round numbers. Well, no, we can't, because this is already in cent form. So okay, let's be conservative and let's just do 18 cents. And let's do the starting price of 3 zeros and a 2. 100x. Right. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. But here's the interesting thing. We know that's not the case, right? Because this is just showing us, this is just showing us data that happened in a very isolated point in time, right? So there's a couple of things you have to understand about Hex. It had this launch phase period. So that launch phase period is something that nothing else really has gone through. So that's all to say that in reality, you really have to look at Hex from the perspective of post-big payday, which is basically here and up, right? And now when you look at this here and up, what you get is a completely different picture. 6,000%, right? That's crazy, because it was supposed to go to 0. And if you were staked, you were getting paid just to hold that the whole time. So the rate of return just based on that alone, because here's the thing, I rarely talk about Hex price with respect to what you earn in interest. And that's important to understand, because every time we talk about Hex returns is actually less than what you actually experience, right? So when you go to like a place like HEX.INFO.com or .io, sorry, you'll see that they record the data that the point from where Hex made its all-time low to where it's made its all-time high. right? The peak to trough total return in X terms. And this takes a little while to load. But that's the thing about understanding the relation between Bitcoin and Hex, because you had a lot of periods of time in Bitcoin where price was trading in a vacuum. So the price performance is going to look completely different, right? Like in reality, Bitcoin didn't really become a market until this point in time. Because think about it. If you were around in the early days, the easiest way to get Bitcoin was by mining it. It wasn't even by trying to buy it. So that's a unique perspective that you have to take into account when thinking about the price performance and comparison of it. Because again, who really has Bitcoin from this point in time? I highly doubt there's anybody out there that is living or using Bitcoin that has Bitcoin from that point in time. That won't be the case for Hex. So that's why I can foresee a higher price point for Hex in 5 years, because the dynamics of how it performs are significantly different. And what it is very specific, because it literally pays you to hold it. It incentivizes price pumps. So I don't think it's far-fetched to imagine something where, let's assume, and this is going to wrap up this question, let's assume that this is a legit bull trap, like I think it is for Bitcoin, right? And it's trading that way. It honestly is. It's trading that way. What does that mean? Well, if you get another period in time where you get another dump, right? Now let's take it off a log so it looks correct in terms of linear eyesight, because this is how prices move. It wasn't a nice ride down, right? And it kind of looks like we are in this period of time, maybe something like this, like we're getting this type of move, but the move might be even bigger to the downside, or proportionally bigger to the downside. We might come back and touch and tag that 10,000. We could, because it's clearly a resting area for support, because it was resistance at some point in time, right? And given that Bitcoin is the latest iteration of the crap that exists in legacy markets nowadays, I'd be hard pressed not to think that we're not in a bull trap, right? Think about it. All they did was promote Bitcoin for the first half of the year. That's all they did. This is why you see all these big names talking about it. And it started with, what's his face? Sailor Moon, all the way back here in March. So this whole time, they've had people just selling you Bitcoin, selling you Bitcoin, selling you Bitcoin, selling you Bitcoin. And it's just like Richard Hart says, who is left to buy it, right? So if that actually does materialize, what does that mean? Well, that means that people are, again, going to find Hex sitting in a spot where they didn't even know it existed. Because what happens is every time we get a dump, Hex gets a pump. And there's no coincidence there. That's by design. Because while they pump the market, right, they always pump it, causing everything to go up as much as they can get it to go up, because their objective is to exit. Their objective is to literally exit their positions. This is why it's called a bull trap, right? So if people realize what's going on and they dump all the crap, all the promise coins, right, what you can expect to happen is what we've already seen, right? What happened in April? The whole market sold off. But what happened also in April? Well, people found Hex. That's what happened in April. So this move here really isn't a surprise. The community has gotten bigger. It keeps getting bigger. So if we have another dump, in Bitcoin like I expect. A lot of people expect it. But what's going to happen? What can you honestly expect to happen? Right? So this is like my answer to the $10 question, right? If we actually do see a bull trap and we do reverse lower, right? Odds are that means we're going to move this way, hit that 30,000. And if we don't bounce, we're going to break it. So that's a clear move lower, right? So at least 23 to 20,000. Right. And this is just speaking to market structure. It's not about anything else. Right. If the market does this, then that. If the market doesn't do this, then that. So if the market doesn't roll over, then this is clearly respecting the trend lines, right? Because these trend lines are now saying that it's time to be long. That's what these trend lines mean. But I'm speaking from an experiential point of view, because once I zoom out, the market isn't telling me the same thing. And that's why I use these trend lines and I trust them, because they don't really fail me, because they're there for a reason. And I designed them to be that way. So respect the trend, respect price structure, right? This is what these lines really do. They do both. And the further out you go, more bearish the vision is. This is a 13-day chart, right? So again, it's all about perspective. You can look at indicators all day, right? But price is going to do what the market wants it to. It's not going to do anything else. An indicator is merely following price. And that's why I don't really talk about indicators like that. They don't really add value to me. So that's like the long and short of that question, right? That's kind of like why I can see a $10 move still by the end of this year. If Hex sustains, right, its true function like it has so far for 620 plus days, you can clearly expect a price pump of immense proportions with the culmination of a fork of a blockchain, plus the fact that you're going to get a copy of that if you hold it through the fork, plus the fact that that's going to cause people to learn what Hex is, right? You're not going to just hold something, own it, and not know what it is. Yes, sure, some people will do that, but in general, people aren't going to do that. So that could easily cause a flurry and a float into the price of Hex, right? That so-called magical carpet ride. And it's understanding all of these variables, right, that can help me see a $10 price in Hex, even though when I first made that call, it wasn't based on any other related market move, right? So a conservative price estimate for 5 years from now definitely comes to engagement with the network. And if there's one thing that we've seen, right, and just to bring this back up, because this, to me, it's interesting. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this. But this little holders chart that we got going on here, this was like a flat line for a very long time. Very, very long time. And look at what it looks like just this month alone. And we're only 2 weeks in. We're only 2 weeks into this month, going to 3 weeks. So that's the network effect in full effect right here. And this number just grew because it was actually 8.9 tenths of a percent a moment ago, or I'm sorry, hundreds of a percent a moment ago. So somebody else just became a holder, right? So this is tracking all the addresses or something like that. But this is growing, right? That network effect is real, right? So that's one, right? You got Bitcoin and the rest of the market that follows it not looking too good. And we already know, right, that this also tracks Bitcoin just on a lag. We got a major impending bull move in the dollar, right? The question is it going to stop at 96 or is it going to keep going, right? That's the question. Because if it doesn't keep going, that's fine. But the question is, what damage is done? Where's this chart at? Damn, I erased it. Let me see. Where'd it go? Yeah, I guess I just Sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell happened there, but somehow I closed my browser but left the YouTube window open, so it kept me connected. So that worked out. Um, so I don't know how much you guys missed, but damn, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, you can get it. You can see you can still see a $10 move to Hex this year. And again, the more adoption we see within the network, the higher the Hex is the faster Hex is gonna go higher, right? And with that, you can expect greater price performance from Hex because it just moves faster because it's designed to move faster. So I wouldn't be surprised with a conservative estimate of $1,000 at that point in time. But if you see $300, you shouldn't be sad because it's early days and it's still 20 cents and under. So take advantage of that. All right, let's see other questions, and I will answer them quicker. Thank you for the super chat, Green Day. Appreciate you. Hope I didn't miss other super chats because, yep, it reset everything. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Yeah, this is true. This is very true. No, I still work, man. I don't make money from streaming or anything like that. I'm just trying to wake people up with some math. That's all. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Who the hell says that? I don't know. They don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. It seems there is a disproportionate amount of Hexicans who talk about staking versus the percentage of Hex staked. Far more people talk about staking rather than actually stake. Weird question. I don't know that I kind of guess what you're saying, but you got to also understand that everybody that that stakes in Hex isn't everybody that's in Hex, right? Like, you only know I exist because I decide to make myself known. So that's one thing you should understand. So the percentage of people that talk about staking versus the percentage of people that actually are, right? You don't know everybody, so that's something you got to realize. I don't know everybody, so I don't know everybody that's staked. Like, the X community is huge. Only 300 people went to Vegas. Those are not the only 300 people that exist. So you got to realize that sometimes you're operating from an illusionary standpoint. This is a true statement. Not relevant, but also true. Let's see. Okay, so the t-shirt rate on PHEX will be the same once the fork happens. After that, though, it's going to be distinct, right? Because you're going to be seeing two different t-shirt rates now. And the way the t-shirt rate works, again, is by the end staking. And if more people are end staking on PHEX, then the t-shirt rate is going to go up quicker. It's just pretty much, it's just how it works. Because the preponderance of the quantity of the end stakes, right? That's what's going to drive up the t-shirt rate faster on one side versus the other. And it's important to understand that. Give me a second, guys. So yeah, so once you get back to the PHEX side and you're lucky enough to maybe scoop up some cheap coins with size, you can probably scoop up some sizable amounts of Hex, right? And that's what's going to give you the shortcut to picking up some nice T-shares, right? Because the T-share rate isn't going to change. It's always going to be the same. And that's something you have to understand. It's always going to be 18,000 Hex or more. And that's pretty much it, right? Because the T-share rate is going to start at whatever rate it is here. So just be ready to scoop up some cheap Hex if we get the opportunity. And that's it. Let's see. That's funny. Yeah, $1,000 Hex in 5 years is not unreasonable because it's an actual business, right? Like, you got to understand how Hex works, right? Let's go to, let me see something here. Let me stop sharing screen for a second because I don't think people understand what I mean when I say that Hex is a productive asset. And that is a literal statement. It's a business, right? It's just as good as any business. Oh, actually, I didn't even need to do all that. So let's take a look at this chart. This here number, Randy, just so you can understand, is the percentage return to stakers, i.e., people that have bought and staked Hex. Okay, so if you've bought and you've staked Hex, and this has been what you've been holding since day one, this is your percentage return just on your stake, not on the price appreciation. This is the total paid out to a staker per T share. Hold on, guys. Fuck. Shit. All right. And the system is always doing this, right? This line is never going to stop. This orange line is a payout per T-share sum line, and that line is never going to stop going up. So you can expect this to continue going up. And what do you think is going to happen when people realize that they missed out on a 6%, on a 6-digit percentage return, where it required them to do nothing? What do you think is going to happen? That's what's going to happen. Very straightforward. People are not dumb. They know how to do math, and they will gladly pay for a 40% rate of return if they can. Very straightforward. Spark token. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So what happened is I guess we could talk about it now. Since the Fed isn't really supposed to be going over $1 trillion in repos. And if you look into it, you will find out that they're probably not even supposed to be going over 500 billion. But here we are, 50% higher than that, or 100% higher than that, excuse me. And that's just a function of, people understanding what's going on. And the reason I talk about repo is because, as we've seen, right, looking at April 2021, when repo initiates, markets dump, right? And this number does not stop going up. So something else is going to dump at some point because people are going to have to sell speculative assets. The question is, what is it? What is it going to be? Is it going to be stocks? Don't know. Is it going to be bonds? We don't know. Right? Is it going to be nat gas? We don't know. Is it going to be lumber? Is it going to be copper? Like, what are people going to sell that's going to force them to cover these margin calls? Right? And that's why I talk about reverse repo and all of that so much, because it's about the flow of money. And it's important we all understand that. Let's see. Yeah. Thanks for the stats as always, Mel Tony. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's good to know what the T-shirt rate is doing. Yeah, for sure. Small money that wants to suppress us. Yep, for sure. Let's see. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, so let's say we do hit a bear market, right? And let's say you think it's going to start now. And let's say we have historic evidence that shows us that a bear market will last 1 to 3 years in crypto. Well, if you want, you can take one big bag of Hex, stake it out in threes, 1 year, 2 year, and 3 years. That way you're covered across the spectrum. Or you can just do one big stake for 3 years. Or if you think it's only going to last a year because you believe the cycle is shorter, then you can just stake all of it for 1 year. So there's a lot of different things you can do, right? You can even do it 6 ways, where you break it out 6-month increments. There's a lot of different things you can do. And that's why Hex is so cool. It gives you all this different optionality, and you can make it work for you specifically. You know what I mean? So those are important things to take into account. Take them into account, please. Let's see. Interesting. Cause yeah, it could, right? It could. I mean, here's the thing. If you haven't been around for forks before, you know, they can literally cause some severe market reactions, right? Let's see. Oh, hold on. I want to Google something. Fork dates. Oh, a list. Okay. Let's see. Does this actually give us a look? Okay. Okay, no, F this. This is no bueno. History. This is what I need. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to find a list of 2017 is the most popular one. Okay, but that's not what I'm looking for. Neither. Come on, man. All right. Here we go. Fuck. All right, man. Whatever. Okay. Here we go. All right. 2014, 2016, 2015. Okay. 2017. Unfortunately, we don't have concrete specific dates. All right, so November 8th, 2017. Let's just check that day since this is trying to be a pain in my ass. And that wasn't even that long ago, but it was long ago. So November 8th, 2017. Okay, so here we go. So the market popped the day after. That's interesting, right? Because look at what happened. Oh, wait. No, this is November 8th, 2017, not 2016. Sorry. Played myself. Here we go. Okay. So the market dumped, then ripped to new all-time highs. How about that? So, you know, you can expect something similar to happen here. If the market dumps, cool, you know, whatever. But you can definitely expect the market to move up because it doesn't make sense for it not to. So this is crazy, right? Because this is true. I've always been of the mind that the higher price goes, the more emergency on stakes we're going to see because the numbers are just going to be so crazy that people are not going to have anything else in their mind but that number, and that's going to taunt them. And that taunting is going to force them to emergency on stake. Anyways, so understanding all of these things are very important, right? Because you know the longer you hold your T shares, you know the more hex you're going to get over time, and the more you're going to win over time, and that's very important to understand. Very important. Let's see. Welcome, Michael. Pulse. Okay. Trying to build up a stack before the fork as a true hexagon. Where do you think PLS will go in the next couple of years? Okay, so it's going to go up and to the right. That's where I think it's going to go. So, if you're looking for a number, hard to say, man. I mean, it's going to outperform anything you know exists. So just expect that. There's a lot of estimates floating around. You know, I can give you an estimate. You know, it doesn't mean anything, right? You know, exchange coins rip And that won't change now because the use case is fairly straightforward. It's not much guessing to have there. It's not like Hex where people actually have to have some type of brain power in order to understand it. So it should probably even move faster than Hex because there's less barriers to understanding, not so much barriers to entry. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you weren't looking for a number. Let's see. Yep, it does have an inverse relationship to the rest of the market. Yeah, yo, actually, if you don't know these charts, go to my website, wellsonly.com/charts, and these charts will be in the set. And these are the correlation charts for all time. Hex has no correlation to anything at all. It's just trades with it on occasion during periods of time because of capital flows, and that's literally it. There's no correlation whatsoever. So whoever says that either doesn't know what they're talking about or we're misinformed. My website is wellsonly.com. There. Let me get rid of the comment. Maybe it'll show it. So there you go. That's the website, wellsonly.com. Let's see. Yeah, that was when I cut off. Let's see. Okay. Just checking for questions, guys. Give me a second. Thank you for the super chat, Cause D. I appreciate it, brother. Let's see. I'm very behind, so bear with me. Oh, I missed another super chat. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Did you comment on the weird take that you were unfair? Who said that? I don't know who said that. I mean, look, I don't talk about fool rules. You know, that guy's a fool rule. He doesn't know shit. And I honestly don't care who he's friends with. It means nothing to me. If you're gonna act disingenuous, then I treat you in that same fashion. You get what you give. So it's pretty straightforward. And that's it. Let's see. Yep. Fact. There's no telling. I mean, Hex is already at 20 cents on Ethereum, so we could do it as soon as the bridge is built, as soon as the bridge is opened. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's see. Do you think about criticism I saw about Richard himself being a central point of failure? Oh yeah, we already answered that. It's a mutable code. You know, it can't. He has no effect. Somebody asked me this question this morning, and I had to explain to them that contract, that piece of code, that software is done. It's finito. It can't be messed with at all. So, not Richard can do anything about it. Nothing. You know, nobody. So it's important people understand that. Very straightforward, very simple. That's never going to change. Like, that's it. You know, Hex can't be messed with. That just, it is what it is. Fuck you saying, dude? I really hate my fucking job. I work with fucking morons. Excuse me for a second. Yeah, seriously, try to understand Hex, and just be cognizant of the fact that it is straightforward, you know, a financial product. It is not a promise coin. It gives you certainty in the fact that this is not going to change, right? And let me talk about how important that is for people that are looking to invest money. Hold on. Anyway, done with the morons. Excuse me, folks. Understand that this is an asset, right? He created it. He had the idea. He worked with people to create it, and it's now exists. It's immutable code, and that's the end of it. That's it. You know, there's not much more to it. You know, that's all. That's all. All the real Hexicans missed the Vegas meetup because they did not want to sell any Hex. Me and the wifey should be there next time. Assuming no, yeah. So Hex, Vegas was open when we were there, and whether you sold Hex or not to go, I don't know. I didn't sell any to go, but it's neither here nor there. You know, if you could have made it, great. If not, there's always the next one. And you know, the whole purpose of these events is to create more Hexicans so that you can. Right? Because we have to understand that the network effect is what's going to drive this higher faster. This is still going higher nonetheless. Like you don't really need other people. So in fact, other people fuck it up for you because they end up staking and taking more of what you would be earning. So you see, it's having that abundance, that abundance mindset that really sets you apart from the rest, because we shouldn't even be promoting this. If you understand the system, you understand that. And what's up, Joe? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Let's see. Is there a possibility of law enforcement leaving the force? Cause of crypto pays more? I don't know, bro. That's on them. I mean, if they don't know about crypto by now, hard to say what they'll do. I've known about crypto for 10 years, and the only reason I didn't take it seriously from the jump is because I thought I didn't understand the internet. I thought that they would actually be able to stop it, and they can't. So thanks for the super chat calls, D. I appreciate it, man. You guys keep blessing me with this fiat that I can't touch because Google just won't give it to me. So slow it down. Give me donations instead if you really want to give me money, but just stop it with the fiat. I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to touch that money. So just keeping it honest with you guys. So I can't even pump your bags with this shit. So, you know, that's all I'm going to do with that. Okay, so I'm finally caught up. Let's see. Now it's time to get re-caught up. Recently invested in Hex. I already answered that. PLS to PHEX day one ratio is going to be whatever it is for Hex and ETH, right? Because Pulse is supposed to be ETH, right? So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, not a bad idea, bro. Not a bad idea. What happens if something bad happens with ETH? Pulse thrives. Not much else to say. Shout out to you, Joe. Appreciate you, brother. I have a question about PHEX day one. Shoot, Sam. If you got a question, shoot. I hope I didn't miss it. If I miss it, I'll catch it back on the way down. I'm scrolling back down just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. So I'm going to eventually write a blurb for each chart explaining exactly what's going on, because I know that this can be a little daunting in terms of information, because for me it's simple because I've been looking at it for years, but everybody has not. And to a lot of people, this is going to be new stuff. So maybe I'll even put a glossary up in here. Like, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas that I like to do, but I don't have a lot of time to do them. So slow and steady wins the race. Let's see. Shout out to you, my brother. Hope you are doing well. Let's see. Yeah, actually, yes. I've said this numerous times because that's just how it works. We can be well rest assured that the dollar always goes down in value. If you haven't seen any of my previous macro streams, please catch them, because I highlight this and show you all the numerous ways that it does go only down. So please watch my old streams, please. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? So the lowest T-share rate that's ever existed is 10,000 hex. That's where the system started, just so people know. So it's basically gone up 90% in 20 months' time. right? That's what we're dealing with here. This is the kind of value creation that we're seeing, right? So the system is going to react in accordance with that, right? Because that's what the end stakings are all about, and that's what these charts show. Expiring shares are ending stakes, right? But the whole time, right, price is dealing with this value creation that we're seeing, and this is important to understand because this is always true, right? Just like this is always true, right? Just like this is always true, and this is important to understand because this is the real relation of HEX, right? That T-share rate, that value proposition, that dollar cost for the T-share, right, is going to be determined by this, right? And this is a function of the price, or the price is a function of the payout per T-share, because over time, that's what we're tracking is the value proposition in HEX. So I just hope that that makes some sense, because I know it's kind of circular and it takes a little time to wrap your head around it. But once you kind of understand exactly how the pieces are connected and that they're there to check each other, like create a balance, I think it becomes easier for you to wrap your head around that the circular system is supposed to be circular and it's there to keep things in check. I don't know. I don't even know why you would ask that. That's unique to each specific group. So militia is a small band of men with guns, right? It's not really like an army. And that's what you would be talking about there, basically. A militia is, within a very specific group of people within a community. So it's not something that's global, for example. So let's see here. Okay. It might be, bro. It might be. No, I've never been to the West Coast, and I hope I never have to go. But I probably will, because I know enough people out there now, which is a sad truth. But it's all good. Stake and chill is the mantra, man. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, well, this is what people aren't understanding, right? They think they're just going to ride off into the sunset with their millions, and it's just not going to work that way, unfortunately. So, they'll figure it out, I guess. Some people just need help, and some just are never going to understand, and they'll have to learn the hard way. And that's okay. We can't save everybody. And we just have to come to terms with that. And that's all right. That's okay. Not much we can do about that. And that's just the nature of the beast. So, take what's happening now as a lesson to teach, future generations, because this is truly perplexing that people think any of this makes sense. So I don't know. It depends where the price starts, man. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know where the price of PLS is going to go. It honestly depends where it starts. You can't have a price prediction if you don't have a basement, a foundation upon which to construct it, right? It's like building a house. You need the ground. You can't just throw it up in the middle of the air. But what is my play regarding PLS and PHEX? Well, I plan to get as much PHEX as I can with the PLS I'm going to have, and take advantage of the bridge being closed in the first couple of days. And this is why it pays to pay attention, right, and be an early adopter. That entirely depends on how much you sacrificed. So if you want, you can go into the PulseChain Telegram and look up the images that they have there detailing what the multipliers were, but that's like the only way. So if you weren't keeping track of when you sacked and all of that, there's no way for you to know. So, crypto is about you handling your business. It's not about other people doing it for you. So, it's your responsibility to have tracked that. What you could do is you can take your wallet address, check the transactions from when you sacrificed, right? And that'll be your dollar amount as well as your date of sacrifice. And again, you just want to go into that link I put in the chat and find the images with the multipliers, because I don't remember them off the top. I don't honestly care enough to know them. So I can't honestly tell you what you sacrificed, but you can do the math and figure it out yourself by going into that link, checking the dates for which you sacrificed on your address, matching them with the dates and the multipliers on those images you're going to find in there. They're going to be like a heat map table. So it's going to be just a grid with numbers and figures and stuff. So that's how you find out, bro. I can't give you that number. You can only give yourself that number. Shout out to you, Lewis. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Hope you guys are doing great out there in Vegas. Yeah, thanks for coming through, Bobcat, man. We'll do another one sometime in the future. Just unfortunate to have to be having to do it in the middle of the day, because it's very difficult for me to do. But you know, we do what we can. We do what we can. I mean, I've been streaming all day, basically. First with Wake Up Hex, and now with you, and then by myself now. But yeah, longer pays better for the simple fact that the system always mimics compounding. And this is what you're seeing here, right? Longer pays better causes the price to go up as well. And that's a function of the T-share rate. I'm going to wrap this up in a little bit. I've already been going for 2 hours. So let's see if we got any more good questions. Yeah, yo hay uno que se llama así, Hex en español. Just look for it. Despide tu jefe, otro. He streams in Spanish also. Yes, we are both in the Bronx, baby. I'll leave one day, hopefully. We'll see. He seems to be calling me back all the time. If I want to gift my 13-year-old niece, met him at all with some Hex. So, nice, good stuff, man. Yeah, that she won't appreciate it as a 13-year-old, but once she's 18 and she sees that big bag of cash or crypto, whatever it ends up being in that point in time, you know, she'll be glad you did. You're gonna have to rewind the stream, bro. I can't go over all of that again. It's a whole bunch of factors. You got the fork coming up. You got macro events that are coming up. You got the simple fact that the promise coin space is in a bull trap. All these things could easily take Hex at $10 because it's not trading on a centralized exchange. It doesn't. So it has to be true buyers and true sellers. Like, that's not optional. It trades in a real market sense. And I know you people aren't used to seeing that. But just visualize it. What happens when people are buying and selling? Visualize it. What happens when more people are buying and selling? What do you think is going to happen? Like, think about it. It's not hard. Like, stop leaning on bullshit that doesn't make sense, like market cap and crap like that. Just don't do it, because you're just going to play yourself. And that's what people, and by people, I mean humans, love to do. So just understand that you don't know anything, because that's the best thing you can do when it comes to markets. Because markets do what they want to do, man. You know, they don't do what you want them to do. They do what they want to do. And that's why $10 is possible tomorrow, not even this year. It's possible tomorrow. Because what happens if something happens and everybody finds out about Hex and exactly what it does? What do you think is going to happen? There's only like 12 million sitting on V2, right? If we look at the total pool, it might be 100 million total. Might be. Let's see. We got 46, 11. That's 57. Plus 17 at 20. That's 57 plus 20 is 77. Minus 3, right? Plus 1, so minus 2. So that's 75. 75 million Hex in Uniswap pools. Whatever else is out there doesn't compare. It pales in comparison to what's sitting in the Uniswap pools, because that's where the majority of the Hex liquidity exists, right? And this is why the adoption amplifier in the beginning and ending was so important, because look at what happened to price after that. So this is what people have to understand. Markets do whatever they want to do, period. So that's how $10 is possible this year. Let's see. Yeah, I actually have a table on my site that everybody should check out. Because Hex Wiki, I don't know what happened to the site, but this is what prompted me to do it. It stopped working and like the files are all funky. I don't know what happened. Here we go. Thought my site got funky too for a second there. So what you have now is a image of how emergency unstaking works, right? So if it's a stake less than 180 days, the crossover point where the penalty does not touch the principal will be the 50% mark, which in this case is 90 days. But this is only if it's a stake less than 180 days. So if it's a stake that's less than 90 days, you better not emergency unstake it because it's going to bust you. That's what this means. And this is what that formula means. 0 days completed because you didn't reach 90 days. And that's only if it's less than 90 days. Right? So if it's a 45-day stake and you emergency unstake it, you're going to lose all of that hex. That's it. Because it's estimated accrued yield multiplied by 90. So if this is 0, this is going to be 0. You're not going to get anything. So, understand that. It's very important. Don't bust stakes that touch your principal. And when you're less than 90 days, anything will touch your principal. So it's very important people understand that. Because then you're going to be read as 0 days completed, right? So you're not going to get anything back. Less than 9 days completed, right? We're talking about less than 180 days now. So it's going to be the accrued yield multiplied by the 90 divided by the days served, right? So actually, let me rephrase here. So for 0 days served, that's when you put in the stake and you pull it out the same day, meaning it never even hit the system. So you get your principal back in that instance, but it never actually registered. So you just canceled the transaction and it never actually booked. But if you do, let's say, a 45-day stake and you actually complete 1 day and then you end it, you're going to pay the price because it's going to be 90 divided by the 1 day, right? And you didn't accrue any yield. So it's not going to be a good return for you. Not at all. All right. So if you do at least 90 days, you get your principal back. You have to do at least 90 days if you want to get your principal back. If you do more than 90 days, then you'll get it in conjunction with the interest accrued after the 90-day point in time. You won't get that interest. The interest that you accrued previous to the 90 days, that will be the penalty. You will only get what you're accrued after 90 days. And the emergency unstakes for stakes greater than or equal to 180 days work in similar fashion. It's just that instead of accounting for 90 days, we're accounting for the duration of the stake, right, in percentage terms. So if it's 1,080 days, do the math. If it's the max, do the math. That's what the percentages are for. So I'll throw this in the chat so people have a direct link to it. But definitely check that out and try to understand it because it's very important. All right, let's see. Yeah, for sure. Money printers are the best. Money printers are the best. How do you draw a channel on the Hex USD? Okay. So a channel typically depicts a parallel price structure, right? And if you wanted, you could say that Hex has that. But let me try to, because I don't want to delete my drawings. Fuck. What can I do? Let me open up some other browser. Let me do private. Just because I don't want my drawings to get jacked up. All right. So we're working with a basic chart here. Brand new, and this is what I needed. So I operate off of market structure, right? So if you guys look at the chart I had before, which is this one, just for comparison purposes, right? You'll see that I don't have anything drawn on it, right? Whereas the one, you know what I'll do? This. All right. So you guys can see it's the same chart, right? Let me just put it in the same time frame. All right. What's 60 times 12, 720. All right. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I would go about drawing a channel, right? Because a channel, man, here's an interesting thing about technical analysis. It's really dependent on what you see, right? We're not all gonna see the same things, and that's why it's important to understand that first and foremost about TA. Never, right? So let's just take this here and let's just draw something obvious that I see. This is obvious to me. First thing I see is this big old bull flag wedge here in Hex. That's the first thing I see, right? And this was what we've been going through ever since. That's the formation that we got after Big Payday, right? So my first inclination here is to see a wedge of that type, right? So that's what I first see when I see Hex. Okay. So you want to talk about channels, or you want me to draw a channel. So let's get some channel work going, because this is what I want people to understand. Sometimes what you want, the market will not give. Where is this damn thing? Parallel, where are you? Oh, maybe it's up here. That's probably why I can't find it. Yep, parallel channel. Here we go. Okay. So this is the closest thing I can see to on this chart being parallel. Right. The next thing I can see, now let me just fix this because this looks horrible. Let's just get rid of the background and let's make these lines dashed and easy to see. And let's do the same with these lines. Easy to see. Easy to see. Okay. Oh, shoot. Hold on a second. Okay, let me just do something real quick. All right. So as you guys can see, this channel isn't exactly a channel, right? It's just really containing price within that image, right? So if we come and try to draw another channel down here, because that's what makes sense, right? Because Hex seemed to be going sideways from here. Let's do that. But as you can see, Hex kind of escapes that a little bit, right? It's not really like sensible to a certain extent. Like the channel kind of starts up here, but then it compresses, but it's just weird, right? So this is when you have to whip out the trend line and try to describe what the market is doing to yourself, right? But understand the structure, right? Because the structure is always true until it's invalidated. Now, what do I mean? Well, if you look at this area on the chart, and let me try to zoom in, but I know it's not going to look good, but just bear with me. You zoom into this area of the chart, you'll see that this line, right? If we zoom back out again, and sorry for being annoying, but I really wanted you to see this candle, right? This candle is what I want to highlight, this red candle, because this red candle is what's showing us that this is an endpoint for price, right? So if we zoom out, we go back and look at what this is showing over here. Well, look at what was over here. It was basically where V1, let me just open it up over here. Basically where V1 stopped on the first price pump, right? That first big move that, here we go, that you saw in Hex, right? This was into Big Payday, right? So that was the top right before big payday. I mean, sorry. So it's an important price point. All right. So you have to pay attention to it. It's the first time Hex even hit 2 cents. So, or got close to 2 cents because I think it got near 1.5. Let's see here, 1.4, 1.49. So there you go, near 1.5 cents. Um, so it's an important point, right? And the price reversed all the way down here, right? So we can even pull this back this way, right? If we wanted to, just to connect it, right? But is it really there? I would say no, right? I would say no because this is just flat. So that's why I stop it here, just to give you the big picture. All right. But some people would try to do that, but I wouldn't do that because it doesn't make sense to me in the sense of market structure and what it looks like, right? Because that's how I connect my just trend lines, indicator lines, whatever, channels, right? I try to use the points that make sense. And those are typically highlighted by the line, but I don't like looking at the line. I like looking at candles. So I just do it how I do it. And that's by connecting what the points of inflection that I see based on the structure of the market, right? So this was an important point. We probed it at the end of the year, came back again, tried to probe it again, tried again, didn't quite get there, and eventually busted through in March, right? Now this is important because look at what happened here. Now let's zoom in to this area specifically, right? This is the area I was just scrolling over, right? Again, we're seeing price respected, right? It's doing something there. It's not ignoring it. And this is price structure, right? And then here we have a dip. Now, this is important because this is like a fake out move is what you're seeing here, right? And I know it's hard to imagine something like that in Hex, but markets do what they do. And markets are a function of human interconnection, this electronic version of a market. So it's going to do the same things, right? So you had this market touch this important point numerous times, dip below and then recapture it as supremely bullish, right? And then not only did we do that, but then we came back up, right? Captured the upside to this wedge structure, tested it, and then validated its existence and then left. And this is when I knew we had broken out at 2.5 cents, even though we had really broken out at 1.5, right? But it's again about market structure because the structure has to stay in a certain space in order for still be true in order for it to still be true, right? So that's why you don't see a lot of channels on my charts because Hex doesn't really do that. It keeps capturing new zones of activity, right? So let's look at this, for example, right? So you could easily say just by focusing on this channel, and let's change the color just to make it stand out a little bit, right? Because it's different. We could easily say that this channel is what prompted Hex to stop going up back in the early days of SAC phase, right? We could easily say that. But what happens if Hex just keeps going? What then? It invalidates this channel, especially if it breaches the upper bound, test it like it did here, like it did here, and like it did here, and like it did here, right? And then it goes back above it again because that's just going to confirm that we're about to get a vertical move of some sort. Because the interesting thing about price that is really lost on people is that this is reflexive. And we talk about it all the time, but what does it mean? What it means is it's like a self-perpetuating thing, right? Once it starts, only one thing can stop it, and that's even higher prices, right? Like Hex has to literally get expensive to the point where it makes no sense before it stops going up, right? And this is what we saw. Now let's just make this 1 week, right? This is what we saw here, and we can even see it in the charts that I've created here. Where is it? Is this it? No, that's not it. Where's my chart go? Here it is. Let's go back to charts. I guess I should have hit backwards. Where are you? Here we go. Okay. So if you look at this chart, interestingly enough, we escaped value. We became expensive after that first price pump that you see in that you saw in Hex back here from April to May, right? Hex became too expensive. That's what this is saying. And we then came back into value, found fair value, and then continued to progress higher again. That's how I view it, because that's what the data is showing me, right? This is the system itself. I didn't do anything to make it look like this. This is just what it looks like, because the payout per T shares on this side and the price is reacting in accordance with that. And now look, here price was cheaper than value. So you picked up Hex here, you got a deal. But if you picked up Hex here at that time, you didn't get a deal, right? But if we look back, this is always true, right? Hex is always going to do its thing no matter what, right? And that's the important thing to understand, right? There's a lot of reasons Hex moves up and down, more so than most other coins, right? But the question is, well, what's going to keep it going up? And this is why it's important to understand the T-share and how it's designed to work. And, you know, there's also a reason I don't really talk a lot about TA, because in Hex, it honestly is not really important. You don't really need it. But I hope this answers your question on the channel, and how I look at it, and how I make them and stuff like that. As you can see, I just try to stick to the lines. Or at least the outer edges of price action, because that's the structure of the market. Otherwise, it wouldn't take that path. So let's see here, more questions, and I'm probably way behind. So sorry guys, because I really take a long time answering questions sometimes. Give me a second. Oh boy, yeah, I'm way behind. Give me a second. Oh wow, another one. You guys with the super chats, thank you guys. I appreciate them. Okay, so I'm caught up. All right, let's see. Let's see. Anyone who mentions food. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I thought about that for a split second, and I was like, you know what? Let me just be nice and answer the question. Yeah, let's see. T-shirt rate will be the same. At the start only will it be the same. Not after that. After that, they're gonna be completely on their own. Let's see. Let's see. I see what you mean. Okay, Archie, so I get your point. And Archie says, I agree about the code. I'm talking about the drive and energy that Richard brings, not the fact that the code is immutable. Hex, yes, but Hex is built on Pulse, which needs RH input, at least in the short term. Sure. You can assume that. But you know, that's just one person's opinion. I don't know. I'll say this. Hex was not just built by Richard. Pulse isn't just being built by Richard. Yes, he's a big piece of the puzzle. As far as Pulse goes, definitely a big piece of the puzzle, if not the biggest piece of the puzzle. But for Hex itself, I don't really see him being even an outlier type risk, just simply for the fact that it's immutable code, you know, just based on that alone. But I understand your point, and it is somewhat valid. If people are really concerned with that, then they could be moved to sell based on that if something were to happen in regards to Richard Hart, right? So it's a fair point. I just don't think that it's worthy of concern, because it's not going to change the way Hex functions, for example. It will change some things with Hex, for sure, Pulse for sure, but not so much for Hex. And that's also very important to understand. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Mm, let's see. Funny. Let's see. Yeah, definitely read that if you haven't read it. It's definitely one of my top recommends for anybody that's trying to understand money and get their mind right with respect to money and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, I get that. And again, if he slips and busts his noggin in a tub, then Pulse might be screwed. Pulse might not. Hard to say. It's all good. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to not imagine a big move in Pulse just because we can clearly see that everybody has seen what Hex has done, right? Like we can see people have seen that, right? Like their faces alone show us that anytime he's on a stream with a Furu related entity, right? Like we see it. So the question then becomes, well, what are they gonna do for round two? Because tell you what, better believe they realized they played themselves if they didn't get some Hex in the first round, right? And there were a lot of people that did not because of all of the misinformation that was being spread. Right now, those are facts, right? Not fiction. Because as you can see, we have 600 data points letting us know what's true and what's false, right? And we have 624 data points letting us know that everything that Richard has said and that the system is doing is true, verifiably true. We cannot say the same for any of the lies and slander that has been spilled by anybody else, right? Guru, bootleg lawyers, whatever, right? Like they clearly don't know what they're talking about. And they show us every time when they talk about Bitcoin and they don't know what they're talking about. So, just keep that simple thing in mind because that's always going to be true. People will always try to FUD Hex because they are too slow to understand it. And that's just simply because they opt to not try to understand it. And that's really all it is. So ignore the haters because they don't know how to read. And that's just a simple fact of the matter. And just ignore the full rules because all they're trying to do is just get clicks and links, clicks for the links anyway, right? So just keep that in mind. Give me a second, guys. Uh, every time I say "give me a second," they shut up, which works. So yeah, Pulse is gonna do big things. Pulse is gonna do big things. It definitely is gonna do big things. So the fork phase is okay. So let's talk about the difference between a snapshot and a fork. People like to get very technical about the term and all that, but it's very simple. Um, a snapshot means an image of a point in time, right? Whatever comes after that or before it is not relevant. So that's pretty much that. A lot of people like to get technical over the term snapshot, fork, whatever. None of that shit matters. You just know that shit's going to be replicated. And it happens via a snapshot, right? Because what happens is at the fork, what's happening is that the two system states are being diverged, like they're being bifurcated at that point in time. So up until that point in time, that is when the snapshot technically occurs because it's a point in time, right? And everything that is in existence at that point in time is what's going to exist on that new fork at time t+1, right? And that's really just it. As far as weeks or months, man, your guess is as good as mine. The test net was supposed to be up a while ago. Shout out to you, Crypto Kool-Aid. Thanks for joining, brother. It was supposed to be out, I think, last week. As you guys know, this is software. So expect nothing and enjoy the ride. Could Ethereum hurt Pulse in the future with code change or anything else for that matter? No. Because now they have to operate from the improved version of Geth, right? Which Richard Hart and his team has improved. So I don't think that they can make a change without our team looking at it first. Not entirely sure how that works on the back and forth because it's all about the versions, right? So I don't know. I honestly don't think so, because they're not even trying to help themselves. So how could they try to hurt something else? I don't know. I just don't see it happening. But I get your point. Anything is possible, right? Be prepared for anything. Anything is possible. But I'm hard pressed to see something like that happening. That's it. Appreciate you, Gene, because I feel the same way, man. Anytime you hear me huff and puff is because somebody from work has infiltrated my vision and they know the shit out of me. So yeah, that's what I'm lighting up, actually. Good question, Ryan. Good question. And I'm happy to be able to answer it. And it's a simple word called methodology. And methodology is everything. And unfortunately, most people are not aware of methodology and how important it is. Methodology is what tells you exactly how the math is being done, right? And how the math is being done is exactly what yields the answer, right? The answer is what we want, right? We don't actually want to know anything else, right? So if we know we want the answer, odds are we're probably going to want the right answer. Just a thought, just a suggestion. Maybe I am wrong, but who knows, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but who knows? Fair to say, though, that typically, if you're looking for a data point, you kind of want that data point to be correct. So that's why methodology is important. Now, Monomics uses a very straightforward methodology where they don't try to hide anything, right? Market cap, coin market cap, and coin whatever, gecko, get wrecked, more like it. They have different methodologies. They're focused on pumping whoever's paying the most. So Nomics doesn't have that interest. They're just a data provider, and they are, very. God, hold on, man. All right. So yeah, Nomics has no vested interest in misrepresenting data, while the other two do. And that's pretty much it. Would we be able to buy Pulse and PHEX on day one? No. The bridge will be not open on day one. So if you didn't sacrifice, you won't be able to do anything, unfortunately. So yeah, pretty much how that's working this morning. What? Whatever. I don't know what this is. Let's see. All right. So yeah, if you didn't sacrifice for Pulse, you're not gonna be able to do anything on day one of the launch. You're gonna have to wait for the bridge to open, and that's not gonna be on day one. So that's the answer to that question. So no fiat connectivity. Sorry, unless something changed. That's what's currently going on. Yep, this is a very great point. Yeah. Yep. If you have staked hex currently, it will be replicated on the PHEX side. So let's see what else. What else? Thank you for all the positive comments, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see. Okay, so people that still think Hex is a Ponzi don't know what a Ponzi is. So you should probably point that out to them. I mean, you can't make people that are stupid unstupid. If they don't even know what a Ponzi is, then there's nothing you can do for them. Because they're calling something a Ponzi that literally is not. In fact, we're, like I said earlier, we're doing ourselves a disservice by sharing this information, because the more people that buy Hex, the more people that stake it, the less yield that we earn. And we know Hex is always going to go up. It's just a question of how fast, because that's always going to be a function of adoption, and that's it. And yeah, so man, people are dumb, bro. And what I would like to point them to is this. Right? Like, what system in crypto has done this for over 200 days straight? None. And we're encroaching slowly on 300 days. So, we have 300 plus data points of proof that this is not a Ponzi, and that the payout, if anything, will only increase over time, not decrease, if it doesn't stay the same. So those are the answers to those questions. But again, you can't force people to use their brain. So just be aware of what the actual argument is on the other side, because you just might be wasting your time. Yeah, exactly. Because there is no argument for that one. That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. And I mean, again, if you don't know how to, determine how markets function, right? Like, there's no helping you. There's just no helping you, because you're just gonna be stuck. You're just gonna be stuck. So if you have liquid hex at the time of PHEX launch, would you go off PHEX and mistake both chains? Yeah, that depends on you. That honestly depends on you. If you want to keep paying Ethereum fees, then you keep your hex over there. If not, then you bring it over. But even to leave it, you got to pay the fee, right? So you got to approve that transaction to get over the bridge, and that's going to force you to pay Ethereum first. So it just depends on whether you just want to be on PHEX or just EHEX. It's entirely up to you. Yeah, they are out of business. They're all out of business. That's a fact. The more Mexican streams, the more evident that's going to become. So, yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe a website coming soon for that. Who knows? Let's see. What's going on, Jenkins? How you doing, brother? Thanks for coming through. Let's see if we got any questions left. Thank you, Cheetah. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm just, keeping people honest, right? You gotta keep people honest. You gotta understand the implications of the actions you're gonna take. So while something sounds good, doesn't always mean that it is good. So yeah, that's what that was about. Very important we understand that. And there's nothing wrong with being a T-share maxi, right? Very important. Very important. Let's see. Hopefully this is it. Oh shit, I guess not. All right. So 10 more minutes of answering questions, and then I'm done. So we're gonna start from the bottom to the top, and then that's it. How do we join and support your views? If you're talking to me, I guess you can just subscribe on YouTube if you're not already, and hit the like. That's about all you can realistically do. I mean, if you really want to support me, literally the first thing you can do is like educate yourself, right? Like, understand what's going on in this world. That's like my number one thing, is people realizing that they've been lied to for too long. So, do you want to do something about it or not? I'm more than well off in understanding that there are risks to standing your ground and maintaining your sovereignty, or matter of fact, claiming it, because none of us have it, right? And that's important to understand. Yeah, if you want to support, also do that. Smash the likes, right? Because when you smash the likes, whether it's up or down, what happens is the algo picks it up and it records it, right, as an activity within its network, and there we go. Let's see. The value proposition chart. Why does the bottom line and hex price necessarily need to be pulled by the line above payout petition sum line? Isn't the hex price mostly the result of speculation? Negative, 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 because hex is not a speculative investment. It's not a speculative asset. So this is what's important to understand, right? This chart is going to force price to go higher because people will continue to stack value. This orange line is a payout per T-share sum line, and that line is literally saying, hey, every day the value of this system goes up, period. That's it. So price has to follow that. Why is that? Well, it's very simple. Because of this. It forces you to have to pay more. Because guess what? It's 8. Like if you look at it from a very base level, right? Your 10,000 hex is your base rate, right? So this is 84%. A T-share is 84% more expensive than hex is right now at its base rate, which is 10,000 hex. So the value proposition for hex is always there. So there's no way that hex could be speculative when it's literally designed to generate value. It's a productive asset. It's not a speculative anything. So I hope that makes sense. And if you don't know the difference between an asset and something that's not actually an asset, which is what they call a speculative asset, definitely look up the term asset or go back to one of my old early videos, which is literally just about assets and values and all that fun stuff. Like definitely educate yourself from that perspective because you don't want to make a bad move when it comes to hex. You know, people can tell you you're a fool for selling, but ultimately that's on you and your level of understanding. So, yeah. Appreciate the comment, Stump West Midland. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And again, my objective is just to give people the right vantage point, right? And that's all we can really do. For how long? So as long as people don't recognize the value is there, right? I mean, look at how long it's been at that level already. And that's a function of the payout per T-share, right? Until the payout per T-share starts decreasing, this number stays here. So in reality, the number could go down. There could be an increase in value, which is hard for people to wrap their head around, I'm sure, because it doesn't make sense. But this is when we had that 9.5 hex per T-share payout, or 9.5 hex payout per T-share. And the value went down to 10%. And that's because you're making more money, right? And this is what this chart is letting you know, how much money you're making, because it's, again, tracking how quickly you make it back. So the all-time low for the S&P 500 price to earnings was 551%. And this was in World War I time frame. We're talking about 9 months already of this being 17%, 16%, right? So that's value at all times because the system pays you daily. There's nothing speculative about it. So yeah. How much time do we have to collect T-shares? Look, as long as you got $3,000 or 18,457 hex, you can collect as many T-shares as you want, multiplied by that 18,000 number. That's all you really got to understand. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see. PX T-shirt rate has to go down after launch, right? No, it doesn't. T-shirt rate can't go down. It can only go up or sideways. So no, can't go down. Sorry. Let's see. I think that's it for the questions then. Let's see if there's any more. Yeah. I never even heard of corn paprika. So yeah. Yeah, seriously. You know, open up your mind, you know. Open up your mind. If everything was meant for you, you wouldn't be here in the first place. So understand that. Yeah. They let us know it's coming. That's what these repos are about, right? Reverse repos are just about that. They're margin calls. So all of that activity is just a function of that. So definitely expect something to go down this year, because again, they told you it was coming. They don't hide anything. In fact, they feel the urge that they feel that they have to tell you in order for their endeavors to be successful, because they have you under this guise of authority, which is fake. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh man, too funny. Too funny. Appreciate you, Alexander. Appreciate you, brother. I know you're an OG, so glad that you appreciate me, man. But yeah, I guess this is all we got for the day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all of the super chats. But again, I have no access to those funds, so think twice about giving up fiat that you could probably just either buy crypto with or do anything else with, because it's a ton of money I can't even touch the super chats just because Google has decided not to give me the form I need for them to approve my extracting of said fiat so that I could pump our bags, because I would clearly just be buying Hex with that. But yeah, take the fiat game with a grain of salt, because they're not here to help you in any which way possible. Okay, we got one final question and then we're out. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate the kind words. Is it better to DCA into Hex or low or a lump sum into it and stake the Hex before the Pulse airdrop? So it ultimately depends what you want. If you want to receive a copy of Hex staked on the other side, you would stake that Hex, right? But then we would have to answer the question, well, how long do I want to stake that Hex for? And if you don't want to stake it and you just want a liquid version, well, then don't stake it and just keep it on there. But what I would tell you is, what happens if you get the urge to want to stake that Hex and maybe you can get more Hex in between now and then? Like, what do you do then, right? So a lot of these questions really depend on what you ultimately want to do. So DCAing in the Hex is always a good idea, just in general, right? The question is, what do you want to do after that? And do you want to pay Ethereum fees now to get a copy later, or do you just want to wait until you can just get PHEX later? So those, I think, are the questions you have to answer for yourself, which are not easy, right? Because it seems like that was a straightforward question, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, only you know what makes sense for you, right? And all I can do is give you the best facts. So yeah, that's what we got for that one. So yeah, so that's all I got, guys. Hold on. Yeah. Slightly confusing the T-shares, regardless of how many stakes you have. Does the T-share pay per year? Pay per stakes as an average, or each? You're brand new, brother. Okay. So when you make a stake, that stake is independent of every other stake that you've made. So when you make a stake on day one, right? Let's just call whatever day one. And let's say you make a stake with 10 T-shares. Well, those T-shares are going to have a specific T-share rate tied to them. And that's going to be determined by how many Hex you actually put up, right? And what the system accepts as the Hex as a T-share rate for that day, right? So if the T-share rate for that day is 18,457, like it is a day, well, your stake is going to be set for the T-share count in accordance with that. But if you do another stake a week later and the T-share rate has gone up, then you're going to get less T-shares if you're using the same equivalent number of Hex to stake. But you will get more T-shares if you use more Hex to stake. But you'll only get the same amount of T-shares if you stake the same T-share rate equivalent amount of Hex. So you would basically take that T-share rate and multiply it by the T-shares that you have, and that would be how many Hex you would need just to start out with a certain quantity of T-shares. But here's the important thing to understand about T-shares. When you start with a T-share, right, and this will be the last thing. This is actually a great way to end it. when you start with that T share, let's say you have 18,467. So you have that 18,467, right? You want to stake it for 1 day. And let's just change the price to make it different and now just so this works better. Okay. So you have 1 T share, right? This is what we're seeing here. 1 T share. From a little highlight thing. 1 T share, okay? So what happens is if you then choose to do the max in terms of bonuses, which is 3641, but I like to do 5555 stakes, right? What we're gonna realize is that the T-shirt just got tripled. We went from 1 T-shirt to 3. So the quantity of T-shares that you actually receive from the system are a function of 2 things. The quantity of hex you're staking, how much hex you're staking, and for how long you're going to stake that hex. So if we add a 0 and we keep everything else the same, this is going to increase to 30. But that's because you added a 0. You multiplied it by 10, you see? So I hope that answers your or I hope that clears up T-shares a little bit more for you. If not, keep asking until it clicks, man. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you for joining me on this impromptu stream. You guys are great as always. I appreciate your thirst for knowledge. Definitely check out HexCalc if you haven't been on it. It's a great site. It really helps you understand the game. That is the hex game theory, right? And how to play it best. And yeah, thank you all for joining and have a good one, guys. Peace.